Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Manor Regulars action, and I am your lovely caster, Invisible Jong, and joined by me is... who are you here?
Yep, it's me guys. I only have 5 hours of sleep, but we'll power through this. Today, Jong, we have on our horizon is the finals of the IMR chapter, am I correct?
Yep, it's the finals, and the fun thing though is that initially it's going... I asked for Jafet, but he's unfortunately stuck in traffic, so hello here, Jeff. Yeah, so while we're at it, let's just go through a couple of things real quick. First of all, let's go through the teams that are playing today. The first team we have over here is IVE, which is the team coming on the winner's bracket, and we have some pretty familiar names here. PP, Panda, Ziyang, who is Yuki, He Tian, which they are from Team He Tian last chapter, along with 481, Jiala, and Yang, which are like some pretty familiar names we have here, like some regulars in this tournament.
And now we have the challengers of this final, Tianba. We have LB, pretty much well known in this scene already. We have Carl, we have Norton Leo, we have Meng Yan, we have Coldness, we have Immortal, all 5 of these on the Survivor side, I believe. And then on the Hunter side, we have Isokanya and Doma Jong.
So yeah, let's hop into the brackets over here. As these two teams are facing off each other. So first of all, we can see that IVE, who began at the winner's bracket and continued on from the winner's bracket, as they defeated Yappers and Vacuity to here. Meanwhile, for Tianba, they're interesting because in the like non-streamed qualifiers, they were actually at the same group with IVE and they lost to them. That's why they began the streamed rounds in the lowest bracket, but they went on to claw their way back in the winner's bracket, defeating Team Anon Tokyo Fighting Booth, Lunarfia, Armada X, and Vacuity yesterday to claw their way back up. So Team Tianba is like, we may have started in the loser's bracket, but we're not giving up just yet. And here they are in the finals, facing off against IVE in equal grounds once again.
Yeah, Tianba playing the most amount of matches in this tournament. You can see that in their journey, they actually were grouped in the same group with IVE. And then after finishing second in that group, they had to beat 5B, they had to beat Lunartia, they had to beat AX, they had to beat VC as well. And now they are here face to face with IVE again. Can they do this, Jong? I'm really excited to see what Tianba can bring to the table, but also how IVE will be able to counter that.
Yep, I'm very excited too. So once again we only have one match today, but this match will be best of 5 today, so it will be longer than yesterday, and it just makes sense considering that there is a lot of the table to work with. And Jeff, I don't know about you, like I'm excited. So for those of you, like let me just update you the score. They face off each other in the qualifiers, and IVE in the best of 1, IVE won by 7-2. So Tianba was second place, but then they're back up here and they are very tenacious. Night Owl, you can begin the ban pick for the first round. So one thing if we want to note about Tianba is that both Survivor and Hunter definitely have the ability to score points. Like we saw how good their Hunter Doma was, we saw Isokanya, how good he was, and we also seen how good their Survivors were, like often landing 3 and 4 escapes too. So I'm excited to see because they are definitely the challengers.
Yeah, so it's really no surprise here that IVE is a very strong team because they have shown up in other major tournaments such as IVC, even COA, which is upcoming. But Tianba needs to show their strength, and the thing is, right, this is a BO5 and not just a BO3, so maybe Tianba can show some surprises here and there throughout the later rounds or even in the early rounds to see what can they do against the mighty IVE. Can they strike down what seems to be invulnerable people?
Oh,
But
yeah.
we all know.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, sorry, can you talk for a bit because I realized I forgot to change something.
Yeah, sure thing. So, well, I haven't. I kind of wish that I watched a bit more matches, but I have seen Tianba Survivors. I really love the way they cooperate. I do think that there has been a major improvement in this team, and I really love Tianba. But of course, IVE just showing their class as well in the Group B stages. I believe we saw quite a few preliminary matches. The Goatman was very consistent from IVE's side, whether it's from Jala or from not Hetian, sorry. Was it Hetian?
I think
Was
He Tian was the one with Goldman, and Jala was the one with the Shadow.
Yeah, but I have seen Jala play Goatman as well in the Group B match, and oh my goodness, I think it was probably the scariest Goatman I've ever seen. So, both hunters for the team IVE are quite scary. And speaking of scary, I think we have the ban pick phase now to go ahead with, John.
Yep, yes, we do indeed. As that have begun off camera. So I think you see that Tianba chose Doma to hunt first. I think this is their standard to let Doma, the Goldman player, begin and to have the other hunter Isukanya continue off the rest. So we are going to be seeing here the first two bans are the Priestess and the Perfumer, and I think I'm not surprised with the Priestess at this point because we previously seen that Priestess is like very decent against Goatman in this map just because that she can use her portal to escape out of the Goatman cages. We've seen that happen before in a match, so I guess Doma does not want that to happen again. And the Perfumer, second one being banned over here. So yeah, just some like tanky survivors which we all know Goatman hates, absolutely.
Yeah, and we are going to be seeing the Puppeteer and Magician picked up for IVE. So pretty much solid counters against the Goatman. You can face against the Ivy, and even against Opera, it's not too terrible either. And other than that, we're going to see the third ban from the Hunter being the Psychologist. What do you think of this, John?
I think for this, it's really just leaning towards the Goatman at this point because the Goatman absolutely hates hunters, survivors that are tanky, as I mentioned in the round just now. So when you know that you're likely facing off against the Goatman, then you know that you have to pick those tanky survivors. Like if you don't pick them now, then there's never a chance. But we're seeing a Knight over here. Oh my goodness, Jeff! I did not expect something like this. So if we, hey, actually it makes sense now that I'm thinking of it because the thing is that if you are in range, all you have to do is to like block guest ability. Then all of a sudden, hey, I cannot use my cages because like it gets blocked off, and out of cage Goatman does not even do a half health damage.
Yeah, Knight being. I was hoping that Knight would have been picked later, but right now IVE just taking out their Knight as well. But it will be entering the global ban, so this will have to make it count. And yeah, we know what Knight can do. If the Hunter just places a cage, you can just predict a hit and the Hunter can't even hit you. So what are they gonna do? If they have to remove the hit mark, they have to place another cage, which wastes more resentment. Otherwise, they'll have to wait for the Knight's ability to end, which they can just predict a stalemate and they get a speed boost from that. And sometimes the Knight can just prevent the cage from being placed in the first place. So this is a really great pick, and Knight is not only good against Goatman, it's also good against Ivy, but I do think that it struggles a bit more against Opera just because of how fast Opera operates.
I'm not
But yeah.
1000% sure about Ivy. Like I think it's more of a 50-50 or 60-40 because with Ivy, like I literally cancelled 2 attacks in a row by calling my leech back and then also using the scare, and it got cancelled out. So I think it's a 60-40 for an Ivy. But I'm liking this knight choice with Goatman, and there seemed to be a bit of confusion, of a shock over here, as we haven't really seen knight being played in the live stream rounds, that no one thought it was available, but actually it was. So yeah.
Yeah, knight just being one of the new additions to the rank survivor, so that's why Jong included it in the rulebook. So I think the confusion has been cleared though, so they're going to be continuing with the bans, and Antiquarian will be the last ban, which I think IVE will probably look to pick a solid rescuer, that because knight isn't, if knight gets chased, if they pick someone else they might not have a tidebringer, but we will see Antiquarian get banned, so I do not think it is the worst thing ever, and we will be seeing a barmaid getting selected, so it does seem like they're going to focus more on rescuing for the Night Jong.
Yeah, I'm exactly seeing... I agree with you over here. I'm just trying to think, like, what exactly are we expecting? Like, because a Goatman is likely selected at this point, I'm just thinking, like, how exactly are we seeing this Goatman play out? Because I do see a potential that the Goatman uses a cage when it's not in the vicinity, like when the knight is not in ability vicinity. Then when he is in your face, it might be a bit too late to react. So this is like what I'm seeing a potential of, is to like snipe him down or snipe the knight down in like long range. Ignore me, I'm just testing something. So yeah, I think it's still leaning towards in favor of the survivors here, as there's a very solid team comp, but I do see there's a potential for knight or for the Goatman to snipe down the knight.
Yeah, I do agree with that, because the knight very likely, if it's not the knight, it will be the puppeteer that will bring Tide Turner in this team comp. However, if the knight gets chased, you can't just waste his abilities, and he's unable to use the rescuing ability, which I think is like, basically he just stabs the sword into the floor. I don't know how that works, Jong, but apparently it does. But yeah, so knight is chaseable, but in this team comp, they are a really fast team comp, so you have to down the knight pretty quickly with whatever hunter you go with. So this is not going to be an easy task for Doma, I reckon.
Yeah, but especially because when I mentioned like try to snipe down the knight, it will be much easier with the back leap ability, with the back leap for Goatman, which in this case though like if you chase him first, you won't have the back leap for Goatman, then this might be a bit of a trouble. So yes, indeed, Doma has selected the Goatman as to nobody's surprise. So currently the real question here is like, who will the Goatman try down first? Because I can see every single person here can kite out the Goatman for a bit, but if it's a very proficient Goatman, then like even the best survivors can only do 50-50 with them.
Well, I think the best survivor you want to chase here might be the barmaid, because I believe that the barmaid is someone that is just so risky. You have to make sure that you get the boost in time, and then other than that, you might not even have the time to make a second boost if you get down. So something like maybe Blink Goatman, which I don't really think is that common, but it is possible that if you want to chase the barmaid, you can go for it. However, the downside I would say is that if the knight rescues with, I think the ability is called Chivalrous Rescue or something like that, but I do believe that the barmaid can use the boost there, but if the Goatman is quick enough, I think he is able to neutralize the barmaid. And other than that, I do think that this team comp is very hard to go through with, because even if you eliminate the barmaid, look at Magician, look at Puppeteer, they just have a lot of self-protective items, so you can only really go for the knight next, which isn't really the easiest thing to do, Jong.
Yes, night out. Starts whenever the last person is in. So anyways, currently I'm just trying to think what possibilities are we seeing here? Like, I agree with you, the barmaid might be the best first chase, but if the barmaid regens the wine, this might still be a bit problem, because the goatman, after being nerfed his cages, like his resentment level is no longer as much as before. That means that his room of error is not that high. His room of error has significantly decreased after the nerf of his side. So I think if, let's say, one missed cage, and I can see the game fall apart as we've seen from yesterday. So meanwhile we are waiting on the personal selection. I'm trying to keep that a secret, but I reckon that we probably be expecting free flywheel effects, because broken windows doesn't work too well against the goatman.
Yeah, well, I do think that I do expect some broken windows, just because they might want to try to prevent an opera singer. However, we will have to see, because I think the Tidebringer will be on Puppeteer again, but who knows, maybe IVE has a surprise. Maybe even Magician brings Tide Turner if they're confident enough. So, well, yeah, I do think that Flywheel will be the best course of action. We'll see if they predicted that. However, I do think that maybe just a few broken windows is fine as well.
Yep, so let's see though. So hold on, I'm gonna hop into the game straight away. So, okay, we do... Look at this! Where exactly is the Tide Turner, Jeff? I'm not seeing any.
It does not seem like there's a Tide Turner, so I don't think they really
care about rescuing.
I don't think they were really worried about an opera singer, because against opera singer you want to use Tide Turner to try to waste time. But in this team comp, you do have the knight that can give a bit of a like a short Tide Turner, like a 5 seconds, so that when the hunter hits, it will only be a chip damage. And we are going to see they're kind of picking like a somewhat else spawn. I have seen this spawn a lot in IVL and I think IJL as well. So it is quite a decent spawn, and the Goman, not easy to pick a spawn to, because it's very hard to block the ciphers. I believe the cipher that will be blocked here will be the Geisha Dance one, unless the graveyard one is the inner graveyard cipher. Otherwise it will be hard to block the ciphers. And the hunters spawn right below Magician, Jong.
Well, yeah. So, I'm trying to think over here. Like, but spawn below the magician probably will have to take the first kite here. Oh, let's see. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, there is not a single person here with Tide Turner. So if the first down goes down too quickly, this might be a whole disaster, as you cannot bring away from your, like, Dakota Cipher. So we can see that Doma here is marching towards Neru's Magician, who is looped around the 2-story building, preventing the Goatman using cages. So let's see. Oh, this Goatman has brought peepers, and I'm liking the fact that he's looping the 2-story, because it'll be harder for Goatman to aim with these cages right now, as clearly Doma can't exactly aim. So let's see. Uses the first cage to block, but this cage is actually a bit not exactly in the best direction, because but Neru ends up running back into the Goatman's face here, forcing out an elbow, or rather a one, and is still gonna take the first hit. And that is unfortunate, because if Neru kited out this cage, this would be a huge advantage. But now there's already a second cage incoming, but Neru does manage to use a one to get to that pallet just to stay alive for now, and this cage may not even necessarily hit here.
Magician uses a wand. Can he kite out the third one? Uses the flyer, but that still is a down with a decoy remaining. No, this is quite good pace for Doma. In fact, I believe the Knight Cipher is nearby, so they cannot really finish. So I was going to analyze that chasing Magician was also an option, because you can just waste their items and they have no rebound ability whatsoever. So this is looking good for Doma, Jong.
Yeah, this is looking good for Doma, considering the fact that they don't have Tide Turner. The good news though is that they have the Knight, and the Knight is basically have a Tide Turner on his own, as now they already used the ability, and Doma know that's likely going to be a skill. That's why he used a normal attack. So this means that there's only like a chip damage here, as the Magician hugging these two pallets, because he knows that he cannot transitional kite. So let's see, does these two cage count? But Doma a bit too hasty here, got stunned, allowing the Magician to escape out of, and the Magician he accidentally like trapped himself the wrong way. So the Magician able to evade this cage is going to be a huge advantage for them.
Yeah, going to be sticking to this one pallet. Neru just trying to get the hit, but Hunter just using the cages. Look like they're having a standoff. Didn't get the manages to get a hit. Is he gonna get the Terror Shock? Does not get a Terror Shock, but does get the down. So that'll be a second down for the Doma magician on the second chair. He could just chair near the knight, but no, he goes for the chair at 11 instead. And the barmaid just being nearby. Also, barmaid has 9-12, Jong.
Yeah, I think their plan just now was to have the barmaid to attempt to give a wine, which did not work out. And I think I'm understanding why they did not select Ty Turner, because they reckon it'll be hard for the Goldman to get a farm, because once you have a cage and you get a hit, then the cage gets dropped. That's why they did not have Ty Turner in the game. So we'll have to see if this is going to pay off, because now the barmaid in the vicinity here prepared to rescue, but Goatman cannot get the hit, and the puppeteer on the other side is going to come in, and this will be like a double rescue, and but it seems like they failed the rescue over there.
Oh, I think Yuki couldn't open the cage and didn't use the puppet just now, so now it's 2 ciphers remaining and the puppeteer is getting chased, so this is not the best case scenario for team IVE right now. Watch out for the trap. Okay, dodges the trap, but puppeteer now stuck in corner house with just this one pallet. There's really nothing to work with. Hunter uses a backstep. Puppeteer manages to evade it. Uses a second cage, but blocks in the puppeteer inside. And puppeteer is able to cut out this cage, I believe, Jong. And now Knight and Knight and barmaid already closing to finish their ciphers while the puppeteer is still getting chased. I think Doma's having too much tunnel vision. Now the Knight is able to prime the cipher before the puppeteer gets down because there's still Lewis to use.
Yeah, and we can see that the barmaid is also in the vicinity, and it seems that Doma has a new idea and gonna go after the barmaid instead, but I'm not sure if using up the resentment level before endgame is necessarily the best idea. But I think he just realized that the barmaid, he may have guessed that the barmaid does not have borrowed time, because now they cannot exactly pop, and they popped it for some reason. I guess they think that with that pop they can, I think they want to ensure a one-man escape no matter what. Though now the puppeteer at the other side is gonna be in danger though.
Yeah, well, just now Yuki was trying to run to the gate, but just got caught up by the hunter and needs to be more careful than that right now. Gets a terror shock on Yuki. The barmaid is going to get rescued, and Knight and barmaid just
hold on,
hit. Just hit. Oh, why didn't you hit Doma? And then now it has to down the barmaid, but Knight is making its way to the puppeteer right now.
I think he should go back for a Knight. He should go back for a Knight at this point. If he's 2 tunnel vision over here, then this might be a huge disaster as we've seen yesterday. So let's see. It seems that Doma realizes Doma is going back. Can he get healed up in time? Is he able to get a hit on the Knight instead? So we can see that now the puppeteer is outside the gate. The Knight is going to get down. So now the question is that what will be the end result of this barmaid, because the barmaid can still regen a wine for herself.
I think this is a very likely 3K because you know where the barmaid will be. You can see, I think he saw, did he see the barmaid just now? Oh.
Not sure.
That's very close. I don't think he saw it. He thinks the barmaid's at the gate, but that's not true. Barmaid still is at the dungeon area and maybe even could work their way to go to rescue a Knight maybe?
Yeah, I don't think she's gonna go do that because it's too dangerous, but we can see that this is playing hide and seek, but hold on, Doma now realized the approximate direction, maybe? Question mark? Nope, doesn't seem like it, and time is running out short for him. He only has 24 seconds, so let's see. But he gets himself stuck once again though, and with
Tinnitus is making the way to the gate, Jong.
Yeah.
He does not notice at all. That would be a tie. Oh my god, the barmaid is going to get out of the gate. Can he make it? That would be a true escape for the side of IVE when things look so grave in the endgame. Manages to get a tie, even with the puppeteer getting terror shock. Doma missed opportunity, Jong, I believe.
I feel like his best missed opportunity was as soon as he teleported, he don't need to raise the cage, because even without the cage, you can get the barmaid down in one hit, because it's like a 0.25 damage plus, or a 0.5 health damage plus like a 1 health damage with detention. You could have got him down, but here playing around the cage allowed the barmaid to vault over, and he missed the opportunity to down the barmaid fast there. If he got the barmaid down at that point, then with the puppeteer still down at the other side, then this could have been a free K. But the puppeteer also made the mistake when he got terror shocked off the gate, because that was not supposed to happen. So this was just like some mishaps on both ends, but Doma playing is safe in the end and sort of gave out the chance for a free K there.
Yeah, such a shame. Barmaid showing themselves during the endgame and not having borrow time, just letting the hunter just chase. If the barmaid just had borrow time and flywheel, then it would be perfectly fine, but because it was 9-12, so they had to pop it. and the puppeteer was nearby, so it was looking like a very likely 3K, especially with that terror shock as well, Jong. All he had to do was down the barmaid in time and chair, and then force the knight out, and then just chair the puppeteer and get a 3 escape. But things just took a turn, and the barmaid manages to survive with the puppeteer getting chaired, even though the knight got chaired after that. All he had to do was just find the barmaid, but unfortunate that the barmaid managed to sneak their way just like a tippy-toe mouse, you know.
Yep,
And the
definitely.
Goatman being compared to like a cat this time, but unable to sniff out the mouse, and the mouse manages to make their way back to their little mice hole.
Yeah, with that was actually a pretty intense endgame, but with this being a tie, then this opens up the door completely for what's going to happen at the second half. So with that, we're going to head into a quick pause, and we'll see everyone after the break. See you in a bit.
I have always believed that the most beautiful thing in this world is the smile of a child.
Hullabaloo, the roar that made me whole, the lights, the crow, where I found my soul, each jump and each laugh, a story to tell, but behind it all, I'm lost in this shell. Hullabaloo, this world I thought I knew, but its shadows hide the light. The whispers of betrayal cut right through, lost in this dark and endless night. Hullabaloo, my heavens fall. Hullabaloo, my hell, everything I knew's gone cold, as I stand here all alone. The echoes will haunt the stage so dim and gray, where the dreams have fled, and shadows will hide the terrible truth. Far away I stand among the dead. Hullabaloo, the roar that made me whole, the lights, the crow, where I found my soul, each jump and each laugh, a story to tell, but behind it all, I'm lost in this shell. Hullabaloo, this world I thought I knew, but its shadows hide the light. The whispers of betrayal cut right through, lost in this dark and endless night. Hullabaloo, my heavens fall. Hullabaloo, my hell, everything I knew's gone cold, as I stand here all alone. The echoes will haunt the stage so dim and gray, where the
Alright everyone, we're back with more Manor Regulars action with your favorite casters Invisible Jong and Femboy Polu, as we're gonna be heading into a quick recap of the first half, which is a 2-2 from both sides, and oh my gosh, I realized this is supposed to be a best of 5 and not best of 3 scoreboard, which I will change in a bit. So, oops, I forgot. I cannot believe I forgot about this, but anyways.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Just a reminder to everyone that this is the finals of the Armor 6 chapter, so we will be seeing 5 rounds instead of 3, so things are going to get more intense. Even if a winning side gets 2 rounds first, it does not mean that they automatically win the finals, so you have to win 3 rounds total to be able to take down the title of the champion of Armor 6. And right now we have our contenders, which is IVE and Tianba, with Tianba probably missing on the opportunity to get 3k, but it is still a tie against IVE survivors, so they might be able to take that. Yes, John?
Yep, I was trying to say Night Owl, you can begin the ban pick. So yeah, once again, as a reminder, this is going to be a best of 5. I'm going to change the scoreboard, that wrong scoreboard in a bit. So now that we're mentioning about, I'm just trying to think here is that what exactly, like we know that He Tian also has a Goatman, and He Tian is the one hunting first, so we're probably going to be expecting a Goatman as well. And I'm just thinking that Tianba also knows that He Tian plays Goatman in BO1 first, so Tianba must have a strategy or they must have to prepare something. Otherwise, this would be the same thing, because we've seen before that He Tian's proficiency with Goatman is also very high, landing a 4-man, and per my memory, every time he played. So definitely they'll have to step their game up for. Like Tianba has to step their game up. They are the challengers here.
Yeah, and from the way I see it, this match will be He Tian's one to win. Their survivors got a tie, and this is Ever Sleeping Town, which I believe is a very good map for hunters. And you have just so many different options. You're really spoiled here. Opera Singer, you can go Ivy, you can go Goatman, even a Breaking Wheel. I personally will play Breaking Wheel, but also we're going to move into the ban pick phase as well, I believe, Jong, and we're going to be banning a Puppeteer and Coordinator, so I am reading an Opera Singer or probably just a Goatman, but what are your opinions on it, John?
Well, first of all, we're going to be seeing the Coordinator and the Puppeteer ban over here. So, yeah. Wait, hold on. Why isn't this not changed? I'm pretty sure I changed it off. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you know this is just Zhong being Zhong. Oh, well, it's He Tian hunting, it's He Tian hunting. I'm gonna get changed real quick. So Puppeteer and Cord, which is Opera Singer, preventing an Opera Singer, and also the Goatman, because Puppeteer hates, Goatman hates the Puppeteer. So let's see, the first two are gonna be Priestess and Novelist. I know about Priestess countering Goatman, but I was not expecting the Novelist to be a contender here.
Yeah, well, Novelist was used against the Opera Singer back in Koa 6, so it is not a terrible option. And against Goatman, I believe you can just swap the locations, but if the Goatman is smart enough, when you swap the locations, you can just go through the other side of the cage and meet them there. So Novelist, I have played it against Goatman, and that's how I got cheesed with, so not going to be the easiest character against Goatman. And we are going to be seeing Seer ban. Can you keep up with the ban pick, by the way?
Yeah, I think it's on the screen, right? Let's see. Let me check.
I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so Seer is getting banned, and Enchantress will be the one getting picked. So going with a full Goatman counter here, John.
Yeah, but the thing with Enchantress is I don't know if Enchantress it'll be easy for Enchantress to gain stacks against the Goatman, because like with a cage, the Enchantress is still gaining stacks slowly, and also in early game wise, the Enchantress is a complete whiteboard, meaning that this Enchantress over here is completely opening the gate of herself being chased, because early game Enchantress is very vulnerable.
Yeah, but we do have to know that the Enchantress is a great rebound character, if not probably one of the best, because once you get 3 stacks, that is basically just calling for excitement. And if you don't bring excitement, you are going to struggle, especially when you have a cage placed inside with the Enchantress. They could just waste a lot of time by placing those 3 curses. And we are going to be seeing an Embalmer ban, so I do not think this reads Goatman to me. I feel like it might be a potential IV because you have Novelist, and Enchantress can't really rebound as well. So they will be picking First Officer as their last survivor, just a solid rescuer. And what do you think about this team comp, Jong?
You mean for the First Officer? So this is actually not a common, like, I'm gonna say this. This is not a common thing common comp we see against the Goatman, because like normally against Goatman we'll expect something like Wildling, we expect something like Wildling, we expect something like Puppeteer, we expect something like Psychologist, Perfumer, but here we are seeing something completely that was out of our expectations. So I do wonder that if this is the strategy that Tianba has been secretly planning, because we know that Tianba likes to coordinate very well. We've seen that a lot. So I'm very excited. Like, if they plan against this against a Goatman, then I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, so we are going to be seeing
Now you can begin.
the same Hunter. It is going to be Goatman again, Zhang, and then we have He-Tian just picking the Goatman. Even though the Priestess and Enchantress is really good, I do think the Novelist might struggle a bit, but you can use the Novelist to pallet stun the Goatman and possibly waste out the cage. So there are still opportunities, and not the easiest thing for He-Tian, but still going for that Goatman. So this will be a very tense match. Goatman from the side of He-Tian needs to get a 3k to take this round for IVE.
Yeah, I mean, they don't necessarily need to go for a free K, because even if they don't, they can still like take a tie and, you know, still head off and like deal with this at the second or third round. But if they can like try and get a win here, then this would definitely be favorable for team IVE. So we'll have to see though.
Yeah, honestly, I thought IVE was a potential pick, because I don't think Novelist is that comfortable against IVE. You can't really pick up any more books after using one. Enchantress, if you time it right without getting 3 stack at 100 after 100 corrosion. Priestess, you can chase as well with IVE, and the thing about this team is the Priestess has a bit of a slow decoding and First Officer as well, so you can't just chase the Enchantress or the Novelist, but we will be seeing Goatman instead, and we will see that the Enchantress has 912 and so does the Novelist. So I do think that they prepared against a potential IVE. Priestess with 3-9 and the First Officer with Tide Turner, and seems like their spawn is kind of similar as you would spawn against a potential Breaking Wheel, I would say.
I mean, in this matchup, Breaking Wheel don't really appear a lot. So yeah. We're seeing here that Goatman spawned next to Norton's Enchantress, and this Enchantress is 95% taking the first kite because she is a white board early game. And the thing is that Goatman is also weaker early game, because once he hits max presence, his ability to gain cages will be much faster. So both of them are weaker early game, but Goatman is definitely stronger between the two of them. But we can see that He-Tian is not marching towards Norton, instead will be heading towards the Novelist at the center instead. And the Priestess sort of ran into the Hunter's face a bit. I'm not too sure what exactly the Priestess went in the Hunter's face, because now he's in a very dangerous position.
Yeah, Priestess using 2 portals and already getting the first hit, and it's not even close to the ability still has 20 seconds, and now disrupts the Novelist Cypher, so this is not looking great for Tianba. I think their rotations had a bit of an issue. Don't think they really expected. Oh, Novelist giving a free hit. What? Is going to get a pallet stun, but this just going to be using a book, so there's not really a lot of value to it. But Hunter probably still trying to go for the Priestess, but Priestess not in the vicinity anymore, so going to the Novelist, tries to cheese a hit but doesn't manage to get it, and Novelist has 2 pallets to work with, but with a trip damage. And He-Tian seems like they brought Abnormal as well, Zhang.
Yeah, an interesting pick here. Novelist kiting around, and it's gonna take a hit over here though. I think the good news with that is it sort of bought more time, and there's actually a Priestess portal to work with. I just think that they're trying to make this Priestess portal work too much that they ended up forgetting the basic is to not get into the Hunter's face right off the bat. So He Tian seems to have different ideas and will be heading towards the first officer. The first officer in dangerous position. He does not dare to vault that, and it's gonna take another hit. So like, it seems to me that the survivors here are giving up too many free hits in this game.
Yeah, He Tian just one hit away from getting full presence, and if he's able to spot out the Priestess and Novelist, which he does, can he finish off the healing time? Oh, that seems like the Priestess and the Enchantress instead. But Hunter could just still chase the Priestess. You know, it would be the best case scenario to find the Novelist, but it doesn't seem like it does get a hit on the Enchantress. I mean, it just farm stacks because it's just a chip damage, and he knows where the Novelist is. Great awareness from He Tian. Tries to go for a hit on the Novelist, but does manage to spot him out and uses another cage. Novelist able to go through the other cage, and that's going to be a flywheel, and then changes. But I don't think it really matters. That's because Hunter hits the wall. Can he hit? Okay, manages to get the Novelist down, and it will be down. And the Cypher progress is just not enough, Drong.
Yeah, Enchantress coming here, which I guess sort of assisted a bit in forcing He Tian to not go towards the basement. And the good news with this Chaotic is that they all took chip damages, but they ended up like not losing too many valuable items. Officers has 2 watches, and the other people's items are rechargeable. But the bad side is that everyone is in very dangerous health. Oh, Officer takes a hit over here, is able to pull off the rescue though. There is a risk of double down, so the watch must be used straight away because you cannot get double down under any circumstances here.
Oh, Novelist just goes through. Novelist able to get to the cage in time, and Hunter still needs to down this Novelist. Tide Turner seems like it's about to end. Oh, can he hit the Novelist? Novelist goes through the cage, and that's going to be Enchantress helping out with a 1 curse, and that's going to be Blink used. Novelist is going to get down, but then Enchantress is in the vicinity, and it's going to be a thorn to Goatman. And 4 ciphers still remaining, so we'll have to see the Hunter try to get the Goatman now. He does get the... Sorry, Hunter gets the Goatman. I'm losing my...
Hunter gets the Goatman! Hunter is the Goatman!
No, it seems like the Hunter now will be Enchantress, but it's in the risk of getting down. Enchantress using a curse, but Enchantress getting caged out, and the Hunter is able to just chair the Novelist, but the cage is going to restrict the Hunter from doing that, so it's not going to be easy for Hunter, but still manages... Oh, the... Enchantress doesn't use the curse at the right time, and that's going to be another swing. That's going to be a chip damage away for... Huh?
Well, it seems like there's a bit of pause amongst all this chaotic game, but I'm just seeing a lot of chaos at this game over here, Jeff. You know, with this person rushing to do this, that person rushing to do that Enchantress assist. It's just very chaotic.
I didn't even see the change coming. Abnormal just went to blink so quickly from the side of He Tian. And right now, the Enchantress, Norton just vaulting straight into the Hunter, and they just pause it. Oh my goodness, I think my brain is also in a pickle right now, because there's not just chaos in this match, but it's also causing chaos in my brain. Just a lot of information overload.
Yeah, they're definitely information overload, because I think their plan is to have the Enchantress assist long enough for them to, like, stay alive, but, like, for them to assist in the cage to make it hard for the Goatman to down. And I think... for Tianba, they had the right idea, though their execution for this game is a bit hasty because they end up putting themselves in massive, dangerous situations. Enchantress is still here. Let's see, can she make this 2 stuns count? First stun and...
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Enchantress still down.
But yeah, Priestess will be coming in for the Novelist. They have to keep this Novelist alive, but 3 ciphers remaining and the Enchantress is down, and first officer is 1 chip damage away. Not looking good. The Priestess just goes for it. Oh, gets the body block. And the Priestess is going to heal the Enchantress, but look, everyone is injured, and the Novelist still has to kite for their life. 2 ciphers remaining though, so I do think that their cipher progress is going a bit quicker now. But Novelist has to make this count. He Tian using a backstep for no reason, and that's going to be a pallet stun for LB. Still trying to get a book and buying still some time. He Tian still blink is a minute away, and Enchantress coming in for the support, but that's going to be a hit on the Enchantress. Still trying to buy resentment. Oh, Hunter does not get the hit on the Novelist.
Free stack. And yeah, with the cage gonna go down, this may be a different story. Another cage. Oh, this time Enchantress cancels it out though, so this is not good. The Novelist cannot go down here, or else this will be complete disaster. Flywheel effect gonna come in. Stay alive for longer. Can he kite this one out? It's gonna go for a swap. And it's able to escape again. Does the cage drop? The cage drops now. There's a different story. Another backstep here and misses again. This Novelist LP does not want to go down at all.
Oh, Novelist does get down, but look at how much Cypher has gone up. It's one Cypher remaining, and the Enchantress unable to use self-heal. Imagine if the Novelist kited longer, Enchantress could still go in support. But no, this will be the opportunity for He Tian. He Tian needs to go for the Cypher, and the survivors need to reset right now, but the first officer is still decoding, and Corner House is not really safe, but first officer still has a palette to work with. Tries to predict Blink, which I think they did great, but Blink was still 5 seconds away, and now the Enchantress and Priestess just healing, and we'll see if He Tian knows about that, John.
Yeah, I don't think He Tian can necessarily guess the location. I think the question is, what is the officer's plan? Oh my gosh, that is such a assassination attempt over there from He Tian, able to get the officer down, which is near the basement, and also the Priestess portal will be gone, so I think this is now in a bad position for Tianba Survivor now.
Yeah, well, He Tian, even though the backsteps miss against the Novelist, but does work against this first officer. That was a beautiful backstep, and Priestess seems like it will be the one to rescue this first officer, because it will be stronger for the Priestess to go ahead. And He Tian does not spot out the Priestess, losing to Nidus, and I think that's going to be a free rescue for the Priestess. Enchantress working their way to the Cypher. First officer is rescued. I think He Tian trying to spot out which Cyphers are being decoded. Enchantress decodes Corner House for a bit, but leaves, and He Tian needs to find out who's decoding right here, but it seems like he'll be going back for... Oh no, does not go back for the Priestess who is healing the first officer. Enchantress just playing Rit very patiently, doesn't want to give He Tian the information that anyone is decoding.
Yeah, I'm actually liking this play from Tianba, because the Enchantress not decoding means that He Tian needs to spend time wandering around, and she bought enough time for the officer to get healed up, so let's see. But the Enchantress must make this count. One stun is going to come in play here to kite this one out a bit. So let's see, can the Enchantress kite out this cage, which does not seem likely, as the Enchantress will be taking the hit here, and the Enchantress will be running away from this Cypher, does not want to go down, and a failed backstep from He Tian is going to give Norton some time to kite this one out here. So goes for the blink here, and this time it's gonna cancel the attack recovery once again, which is unfortunate for them, as currently the Cyphers are not really enough, and oh my goodness, this is going to be straight into the officer's face.
Oh, beautiful elbow pad though, but that's going to waste a second cage, and He Tian misses the swing, but it's going to get a hit quickly. Shortly, can he get follow-up? No. First officer is still kiting for a bit, but I think first officer, does get a chip damage because the cage ended, so that's going to be good, but first officer still has no items to work with. Enchantress doesn't have self-heal, but He Tian seems like... So He Tian does know that, so he's going to leave the Enchantress slug, and does not see the Priestess decoding the Cypher. Priestess still leaves though, and first officer being caught out. First officer going to be next chase. Just another failed backstep. I think He Tian is missing more backsteps than he usually does though, John.
Yeah, we can see the Priestess is decoding the last Cypher, and this officer, first of all, is not going to last long, so I think this is leaning towards a 3 to 4 man, because He Tian knows that the Enchantress does not have self-heal at all. So I think... but the Priestess already long portal to get the Enchantress back up, so this is a different story here.
There is still a bit of an opportunity. They just need to get the Cyphers up and running, because Corner House has 70% progress, if you remember, and the Priestess still can rescue this first officer. Hunter, I don't think he still he does have to go for the Enchantress, but the thing is they can just work on the other Cyphers, so the Enchantress has 2 cursors to work with, so it's not going to be the easiest down for Goman, and Blink is not ready, so 60 seconds remaining. Enchantress uses a curse, is going to be kiting a bit longer, does have a flywheel to work with. Does he use the flywheel here?
Flywheel?
Not yet. Uses the flywheel now, and that's going to be a bit more time, and I believe the first officer and the Priestess, they're just going to heal instead, playing it safe, and the first officer is going to get healed. It seems like we'll see who is going to be one coming for rescue. It does seem like...
I think at this point they may even have to consider to have everyone rush here and to just force it open, because the Goldman is very reliant on his resentment level. If the resentment level is not enough, maybe they can pull it off with everyone, like... Maybe they can pull it off with everyone sort of like there. Oh, but hold on, the Priestess might not make this rescue. Hold on.
Oh! Priestess getting down. Priestess showed himself too early. I feel like I should have rescued after half. First officer Cypher is not even at it's only at 70 right now. Hunter could just chair this Priestess, and the first officer doesn't have any items to work with, so he doesn't really want to pop the Cypher. So the dungeon is at Fake Exit Gate. Priestess is still at first chair though, so it's not going to be easy for this first officer. It does seem like a very likely 4K, and He Tian just slowly grinding out these Tianba survivors, and it's not looking good for them.
Yeah, I think here the officer... try for a failed backstep, but Oh, let's see. Breaks the cage. I think here trying to make it to try and pull off the Enchantress but not being able to. So can only pull off the Priestess and try to rush that Cypher at the other side open, which is going to be very hard as now the Priestess is down and the officer's in the vicinity.
Yeah, Priestess, it's not going to be Chariot. Hunter's just going to play the slugging game, but does seem like it's going to be a likely 4K. But there is Corner House that is about to be close to be prime. So first officer needs to Kai Long, but just gets down already as soon as I said that. Commentator's curse, I suppose. And the Hunter's just going to go back for Priestess, and it's very likely be a 4K. Priestess still has a gasp of air though, but Priestess has to Kai long enough. Hunter does not see Priestess in the vicinity. Priestess running towards the corner house, desperate and trying to get, but that would be a down. And all the Hunter has to do is go back to the first officer, and that's going to be a 4K for the side of Team IVE, John.
Yep.
What a match.
Yeah, what match. I think for Team Tian, but they had the right idea, but their execution was a bit off, and the defining part was when the Priestess failed to pull off the Enchantress over there, because I think, as you mentioned, the Priestess was a bit too hasty over there. So, oh, let's see. Yeah.
Beautiful blink from the side of Hetian. That reaction speed I could only dream of. That's going to be a 4 elimination for the side of IVE. Round 1 secured for the side of IVE, Zhong, and Tianba now at the backhand right now.
Yeah, definitely. So I think that really just showcases how amazing, and because for Hetian or for Team Tian, but they actually had a very nice attempt. They actually I knew what they're trying to do with the Enchantress. Their execution was a bit off, and towards the end when the Priestess got stuff was the defining play. If the Priestess pulled off the rescue, this game could have continued and could have gone for a tie, but with that down, it was just pretty much like no more chance. But I still think that was a nice attempt from Team Tianba's side.
Yeah, I think Team Tianba fought really, really well. It was looking like a tie at one point, even though Hetian, still credit to him because he was just prodding and poking to the survivor team, seeing what mistakes they can make, just the control over the ciphers from corner house to the isolated area. But ultimately, it is still a 4K for the side of Hetian. Just great experience against Team Tianba survivors. And it does seem like we will be going into a break for BO2, and I believe Nyashi will be coming up for my place. Stay tuned for BO2 as it is not over yet for Team Tianba, and we will see you in a bit. Take care.
Hullabaloo, the roar that made me whole, the lights, the crow, where I found my soul, each jump and each laugh, a story to tell, but behind it all, I'm lost in this shell. Hullabaloo, this world I thought I knew, but its shadows hide the light. The whispers of betrayal cut right through, lost in this dark and endless night. Hullabaloo, my heavens fall. Hullabaloo, my hell, everything I knew's gone cold as I stand here all alone. The echoes will haunt the stage so dim and gray, where the dreams have fled, and shadows will hide the terrible truth. Far away I stand among the dead. hullabaloo, the roar that made me whole, the lights, the crow, where I found my soul, each jump and each laugh, a story to tell, but behind it all, I'm lost in this shell. Hullabaloo, this world I thought I knew, but its shadows hide the light. The whispers of betrayal cut right through, lost in this dark and endless night. Hullabaloo, my heavens fall, hullabaloo, my hell, everything I knew's gone cold, as I stand here all alone. The echoes will haunt the stage so dim and gray, where the dreams have fled, and shadows will hide the terrible truth. Far away I stand among the dead. Hullabaloo, the roar that made me whole, the lights, the crow, where I found my soul, each jump and each laugh, a story to tell, but behind it all, I'm lost in this shell. Hullabaloo, this world I thought I knew, but its shadows hide the light. The whispers of betrayal cut right through, lost in this dark and endless night. Hullabaloo, my heavens fall, hullabaloo, my hell, everything I knew's gone cold, as I stand here all alone. The echoes will haunt the stage so dim and gray, where the dreams have fled, and shadows will
IVL 总决赛 IVL 都来看吧 IVL 总决赛 IVL 都来看吧。庄园给你寄来一封快信，
熟悉的羽毛笔，字迹清晰。
新苹果消失的未解之谜，线索全部告诉你，做好笔记。12月30号赛事直播间报道
12点开赛，看准时间表。
自校机器人已经备好。
IVL 总决赛，等你欢呼尖叫。
IVL 总决赛 IVL 都来看吧 IVL 总决赛 IVL 都来看吧。
处子在势力，准备邓英。
3把积极出击，让你打出技技。
遇上完全体是你们的荣幸，让我告诉你，奇迹对如其名。
没有捧杯就等我觉醒，这次看我登顶。
狼王归来，我是你们的 king。
战队齐聚，开足马力，冲向顶点，夺下胜利。IVL 总决赛 IVL 都来看吧 IVL 总决赛 IVL 都来看吧。
12月30日，记得来第5人格赛事直播间收看 IVL 总决赛，一起在新的一年见证新的胜利。
IVL 总决赛 IVL
singing, hearts full of delight. Only for sweet love for them can they make it right. Evil whispered into ears, casting
This is my closing night.
down the lonely river, king's fish grand and bright. Just singing, hearts full of delight. Only for sweet love for them can they make it right. Evil whispered into ears, casting
This is my closing night.
down the lonely river, king's fish grand and bright. Just singing, hearts full of delight. Only for sweet love for them can they make it right. Evil whispered into ears, casting
This is my closing night.
Hello everyone, we're back with more Manor Regulars action. I'm your character Jong, and joining me is Nyashi because I got rid of Jeff because he made me into... He made a meme that caused people to not take me seriously, and I had enough of it.
Oh no, not the meme.
That meme!
But I'm not gonna be Jeff's replacement. I think he's just eating right now, so... let him eat, I guess. But heading into the second round, we have seen that IVE kind of takes the start here, the jump start 7-2. I mean, we have seen how good this team is, but let's see if Tianba can maybe make a comeback in the second round.
Night Owl, you can begin. So actually just now it was very chaotic, and I've talked about Jafet with this or Nyashi with this off stream or off camera, is that I actually liked Tianba's idea. Like, their plan is to have the enchanters to assist like to kite out the entire cage. And we did see it work a couple of times. The issue just came from that there was a lot of, like, the Goatman is too strong and they had a few minor errors there that costed them. But other than that, they had a good idea and it actually worked out in one point.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like I actually really love the Enchantress idea. I've been thinking about it as well. I feel like it's kind of an underrated character against Goldman. He has so much upside. He has so much, her tools can really stall a bit more time in that cage, and she really benefits from that loop kiting. And it almost seemed as if we were seeing potentially a tie from Tianba, but just a lot of poor decisions really ended up becoming the 4K for them. So we're heading into the second round now at the Moonlit River Park, actually, with IVE survivors first. Neru-kun is unfortunately not going to be playing, and we are going to be seeing Yang from the side of IVE. Meanwhile, Tianba, Iso, Kanya going to be playing the Hunter.
Yeah, we're seeing the Priestess and the Mercenary as the first to ban.
Yes, and Priestess Mercenary, I feel like, first off, Moonlit River Park, this is giving major opera singer pick, actually, and I believe it was IVE who selected this map, and we do know Hetien...
No, Tianba selected this map.
Tianba actually... Oh, okay, thank you so much. But we do know that, Hetien has a really, really strong IVE, a really strong opera singer. It's also a really strong IVE, actually. He has so much proficiency in those meta characters. And Isokanya, very similarly, we've seen him play the opera singer, which does get banned here on his end. So IVE just respecting that opera singer pick from Isokanya, and now we're just waiting for the first two picks. But Priestess Mercenary ban, that's very interesting. What can we say about this?
Yeah, I think Isokanya knew that sort of his opera singer would not be available. That's why he got rid of the Priestess first, because like, opera singer is not afraid of Priestess at all. So that's why they had to get rid of it first.
Agreed. I feel like Priestess Mercenary, I think these are very conventional bans. I mean, you are letting go of the Antiquarian. Seer is also available for pickup. I'm not exactly sure what could, like, this is, really anything can be picked here. If he has the Goatman, he should. If he has the Ivy, he could. It's just... It all really boils down to what Isokani wants to pick here, as the survivors of IVE decides to pick up the Wildling, and I'm not sure who the other guy is. The Wildling and the Seer on the side of IVE.
Yeah, or I think there's a bit of some confusion, so...
Oh, I think there can... Yeah, they're double...
Yeah, there was a bit of confusion with swapping, but I rather teams not swap because this will be too confusing. Yeah, so... Night Out, or no, that's a fake Night Out. Panda is like, I typed too fast, oops. and then, in the chat, Panda typed too fast that they mistaking...
Yeah, this is... Anyways, just some confusion on the chat, as they do pick, I believe, yeah, that is...
Yeah, I think it's Wildling and Seer.
Right?
Yeah, there was some confusion with that because Panda typed Patient for them, wanted to swap to Seer, and I did not allow it because I did not allow it before, no reason to not do it now. And then then Night Owl was like, Yuki, please slap him. And then Yuki is like, It's like, I told him not to type so fast. I don't know why it's Panda rushing.
I think Panda's trying to like catch up to something. You know, maybe he got an event later, and that's why he's wanna see if he wants to end this as fast or wants to end the VP as fast as possible. Maybe he's maybe he's excited. You know, maybe he wants to get into this match here, as we are gonna see.
Hold on, that's confusing me now.
Yeah. Wait, why are there 3 picks? Hold on.
No, I get it now.
Okay. Wait.
Yeah, I get
okay.
it. I get it. The order is wrong.
So.
Yeah.
Chat,
so the patient was indeed the second one. Patient was the second pick.
And they banned psychologists here on the side of.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, my bad.
And then they picked this here.
Yeah,
so
this is why I don't want people to swap, because this confuses me all the time to read everything.
I was telling Jong that we should I'll make a Discord bot after this. So I think I should do that now.
No, how on earth are you going to make a boss in like 5 minutes in between?
Don't doubt. But yeah, we are gonna see here, just to clarify for everyone in the audience, Wildling and Patient were in fact picked first after this Priestess Mercenary ban. And then Team Tianba banned the Psychologist, IVE picked up the Seer, and now we do see a Pharaoh Lady ban, which feels like it's insinuating potentially an IVE.
The shadow.
Also could be, yeah, it could be also just a bait, and he just goes for the Goatman if he really could. Because, I mean, I feel like, they do pick Coordinator here as well, but I do think could be a lot of issues for the Patient if you do select Goatman.
One thing we do know is that Isokania has a Dream Witch, because Panda mentioned it yesterday, and we did see Isokania with the Shadow before, but the Shadow in this map is very bad, so I don't know why exactly did Tianba select this map, because if their plan is to play the Shadow, then you wouldn't select this map because you're asking for Opera to be banned, and the Shadow is very bad in this map. Adding with this team comp is very strong against the Shadow, like the Sears Owl and everything. So in theory, Isokania doesn't really have a lot of good options here.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Maybe if this was a map pick for the survivors of Tianba, but Isokania kind of in a rough position here. Again, I feel like he could play Ivy. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong about it. It's just that you have to play it almost pristinely if you want to get a chance to even win in this match, because of how big the map is. And we are gonna see, as we're waiting for the personas, yeah, this is a really tough composition for Ivy. I would really wish that he had the Goatman here, because I feel like if he at least brought the Goatman, there's still winning opportunities. But if he picks up the Ivy, or really any other character here, especially like he also has a Dream Witch, but Dream Witch doesn't really benefit from Moonlit either. So this is just, I don't know, I don't really like the map pick in general. Maybe this was a map pick for the survivors, but for Isokania, a bit of a tough decision as to which hunter he wants to run here.
Yeah. Oh, they have a different pick. So Night Out begin first because we're running a bit late. So Isokania selecting something entirely different, and I was actually thinking about this, but then I thought, maybe I was thinking too much. But it is indeed the Geisha. Geisha's playable here because Geisha counters the Patient. Cord maybe yes after the flare gun is used, then a whiteboard, and Sears out. Seer can tank an extra hit, but after that it's a whiteboard. It's really the Wildling that's the biggest issue here. So I think maybe we're expecting something like Excitement Geisha, because an Excitement Geisha might be possible here with Isokania, because Moonlit River Park is a map where the Geisha is very strong at too.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I really love this Geisha pick actually from Isokania. It's one of the characters that I was also about to say, like, maybe Isokania can pick it. I just wasn't sure if he actually had Geisha or he wanted to run Geisha. But this is a really good pick, and as you've mentioned, Excitement is very much plausible here. I feel like he can chase anyone, of course, as long as it's not Wildling. He can chase really anyone in this team composition, because the thing is, like, for example, with Patience, like, sure, he has the hooks, but the thing is, like, it does have some, like, startup before it actually activates, right? You have to kind of, you can kind of interrupt it while he's trying to hook. So really boils down here as we actually see Patient run 12-9, so perhaps they somewhat anticipated that, but actually ISO Kanya spawning right beside the coordinator here. So I feel like I can see here potentially an excitement if he wants to go for the spawn.
So let's see though, the court, yeah. The thing though is the excitement is not available for the first 40 seconds, so there might be a bit of a danger or like your excitement will be wasted if you end up doing that. So we have to see what exactly is the Geisha's plan over here. As now we're gonna be heading into the game, and Geisha will be probably aiming for core first. Yes, excitement has been brought, but then again he has to wait for 40 seconds or else the excitement trade will be a complete waste.
Yep, as we are going to see here, Coordinator is now going to be the first chase here for Iso Kanya. Once again, as you mentioned, Excitement is still going to be on cooldown, so Coordinator has the choice to immediately gun as soon as he gets the line of sight. We are going to see here, I can't see anything because I'm looking at Jog's stream, but we are going to see here, actually Coordinator going away from first stop, tries to go for the dash, misses unfortunately, but Excitement is now just 5 seconds in here before it is proc. Coordinator, will he consider gutting now? No, he does not, and takes a first hit here.
Yeah, that's very bad because now that means that the Excitement will be in play, but we can see that Isokanya a bit of overfly there, which allows the Disorder Fate to sort of like carry around. And let's see, I think they predict this Excitement, that's why not using Sears Owl. Yep. Just gonna wait over here as no one can really do anything before the owl flies away. And now I think that Yang is forced to go away as the Geisha flies over here. And yes, Excitement will be in play now. And down goes the Coordinator in actually like a decent amount of time, because I think it's only around 65 seconds, which is doable because if we look at the Cypher progress, there's not even 2 Cyphers in total.
Yeah, and Wildling was only, I don't really know why, maybe it's just Wildling is like really slow at decoding, which I know he is, but wow, his Cypher was like only 40% there. As we are going to see, he's actually making his way to a rescue here. Seer and Patience out Cyphers are going to be finished here, and we are going to see, will he get a free hit from Wildling at presence? No, he does not. Does just decide to hit the Wildling here, and you know, kind of content with that as Disorder Fade, aka I believe Yang, right? He's going to be trying to make a bit more kite here as he does use the flywheel, but he's going to take a hit.
Yeah, so currently, actually the Cypher progress is not really enough at this point of time because we can see that there's still 3 Cyphers. One is going to be the Wildling's Dakota Cypher, and one new and one completely untouched. So I think the survivors will have to step back and consider if they want to rescue this one or they're going to sell. But we can see that Isokanya is just looking around, trying to grab as much information as possible here. And I think right now he has a rough idea of the Wildling's direction because he saw the Seers and the Patient Cypher for like shaking. But now the Wildling can just come in as Isokanya can't really stop the Wildling, but the Seer is also coming in, so this will be a double rescue. I think they're trying to like delay, trying to save and protect the Coordinator off chair.
Yep, and we are going to see here a rescue from the Wildling as he is still in full health, so can potentially harass here. Seer almost gets hit there and goes down, but luckily manages to dodge it without having to use flywheel. Actually, Seer is also still in the vicinity. Will he body block here for the Hunter? Decides to body block for the Coordinator, rather, sorry. As we are going to see, Wildling is still full HP, can still body block for the Coordinator. Decides to just dash in. Oh my god, what a nice dash there from the Hunter. And good news for the Hunters, he still has Excitement. Didn't need to even use switch to Blink here, so he can just Excitement his way out of here. And we are going to see he does, so it's going to be huge for the Hunter here.
Yeah, and I think the question is, does the Seer dare to self-heal himself back up? I don't think he will. Let's see, the Wildling already got off the board, and carrying the Cyphers are not enough because the thing is that the Seer was forced to come in like a thing when his Cyphers decode in half. So carrying the 2 Cyphers remaining, one of them is the one being decoded by the Patient at the other side. The other one is the Seer Cypher, which is at the other side of the map. So I think currently Isokanya can just try and fly towards the Wildling, force him to rescue because the Cyphers are beyond enough.
Yeah, I just feel like that was a bit of a risky play trying to preserve the Coordinator. I feel like now the Hunter has a potential winning position here, as we are going to see Seer's going to be making his way out of going here first. Or we can see Owl, does he go for the flywheel, but no Owl just yet. Not sure how much percent she is before she gets his second Owl here, as we are going to see Patient finishes his Cypher, and actually Seer is going to get chaired back on where he was last time, but I believe Wildling actually gets to go to the Cipher of Seer.
Yeah, though that cipher is actually like not that high in progress, only 40%. So we'll have to see what is Isokanya's plan, but he knows that the Wildling just got off the board, so maybe he's looking to down the Wildling fast here so that they can play around the cipher, which is exactly what's gonna happen. The Seer's gonna get healed up, and I think this is just really a matter of choice, because if he chose to camp the Seer and try to farm, there may be a danger of patient body blocking, and the Seer's out, which I presume is very high in progress right now. So he chose to go for this approach, and let's see what this pay off as now. Isokanya knows the approximate direction of the Seer and the patient. He saw a glimpse of the Seer. This means that he knows where the patient, and he saw the patient, and he knows that the Seer would not be here in a short amount of time.
Yeah, patient does have a hook to use. Will he use it? I don't think.
You're a bit quiet.
He's gonna be taking the hit here. Oh, he does actually decide to use it, but does have a dash here, which he immediately uses, and now it's already after half. Seer Cipher is 20%, so if you can force a potential hit here on the patient, the advantage is that Wildling would be able to get right on board if he tries to go for a hit. So all boils down here to how Isokanya
he wants to farm. He wants to get a farm because he thinks of risky teleport. He wants to get the farm on this Wildling. The question is, can he do it? If he can, then this will be a free man or more. So this is everything. The farm is everything for this hit. Like, look, no one is daring to do anything. Like we can see that the patient's delaying. Everyone is not there to do anything. Is able to get the farm over there. Amazing play. So now let's see. The patient's gonna force heal. Does he dare? Does he dare? Oh, gets the Terror Shock over there. Ciphers will not be enough, so the Wildling will be sent back to the manor. And I think the patient, can they force it up before the patient, like, can they force it out and get the patient up in time? Doesn't seem like it though, but
the patient does not have a...
Oh!
So
borrow time!
So this is... Yeah, this is huge. They can't pop that cipher because
both of them don't have borrowed time. I just realized this.
Yeah, exactly. So now Seer is actually going to be forced out of his cipher, and he can't like pop this because patient's still not going to get picked up here, and he does manage to get the flywheel, amazing flywheel here from the Seer. Will he use the owl? No, he does not. Just takes the hit here on the side of the Seer, as we are going to see. Still have an owl to use, but patient's actually making his way away from the cipher, and all of a sudden, I mean, this is looking very dire for the survivors, as he's actually hesitating. He thinks patient went to the cipher, so he's actually going right back here.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with thinking like that because this cipher is very high in progress. Because at this point for Isokanya, he can allow the survivors to decode the cipher at the back of 2-story because that cipher is not high in progress there. So we have to see though, Isokanya is now inching away, having tinnitus, does not know where. The patient is doing a good job probing tinnitus, but the Seer's popping the cipher, and yeah, Isokanya did not realizing it, allow it to pop, so this is actually puts them back in a one escape situation. So I think for Isokanya, he has to try and locate a survivor fast in order to get the at least free man.
Yeah, he's deciding not to teleport here. He feels as if they're not at the gate just yet, as we are gonna see, wait a minute, he does have tinnitus, and guess what, that is gonna be the patient right within his vicinity. I believe he already used 2 hooks, so down to the last one here. Patient, all he has to do is stall a bit more time. If he dies very early, Hunter can go teleport right on Seer. This is going to be an issue, as we are going to see, oh my god, barely gets out of their flywheel in effect. Seer is now decoding here, so we are going to see potentially a tree escape, as we are patient trying to stall a bit more time here.
Dungeon is here.
Go down.
Teleport. Does he dare to teleport?
Will he teleport, or is he too scared? This is a big question mark, and he's a bit too scared here. He doesn't think, he feels as if Seer might have had the gate open and maybe like patient crawls or something, but I don't know. He just played a bit too safe there, and they do manage to get a 1 escape, which still a win for the Hunter, but it could be enough for the survivors here of IVE.
I feel like his biggest misplay in this round was when he let out the Seer. He let away the Seer, because I knew what he was trying to aim for, is that he thought the patient would come to that cipher, but once he realized no one was there, he should have continued to pressure back the Seer, and he should not have allowed the Seer to finish off that cipher, because that's the one thing you do not want to. Like, you can't allow the survivors to sort of decode the cipher at the other gate, or the other side, but you cannot let them pop this cipher. And I think I do know why he had to chair because he was too scared, because if he teleported and no one was there and Seer popped the gate, this would have been a disaster, so there's nothing wrong with that. But I just felt like his decision and allowing them to pop the gate was what pop that cipher was what costed him.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I feel like that and also I feel like he should have just teleported. I think he was so too scared there to kind of just not go for the teleport. Maybe he wasn't he may have thought that maybe Seer wasn't at the gate, or maybe the gate was open, and kind of threw away the potential 4K there by actually chairing the patient. Did secure the 3K, which is still huge, but unfortunately unable to get that 4K, which could be a bit problematic if Tianba does not secure at least a tie, as we are going to be going a bit in a pause here, and we will be right back here with the second round, second half.
This is my closing night. This is my closing night.
Hello everyone, we're back with more IMR action. So just now we actually saw once again an amazing performance from Tianba's Hunter, able to achieve a free man elimination on against Team IVE Survivor. So the question now is that can IVE Survivor hold their own? Because we actually seen that He Tian is a very dominant force throughout this tournament, able to getting a 4-man almost in every game they played. So the question is, can Tianba Survivor make a breakthrough as they're gonna be heading into this BO2 round?
Yes, I 100% agree. I feel like, you know, that was a big 4K opportunity there for Tianba, unfortunately just settling for the 3K here, which could still be very beneficial on their end, as now Tianba Survivors aim to only pick here a tie, and I feel like actually, considering this
now we can begin.
Yeah, we were looking at the map pick, right? So I feel like when we were talking about this, we mentioned how we think it was more of a survivor pick, right? The map, Moonlit River Park, because Isokanya, prior to us finding out he actually had a geisha, we thought this was actually not that great for him. But all of a sudden, we are starting to see, well, he had that geisha, and that was really huge on their end, and this could still be a map that's beneficial for the survivors. But one question remains, which is, what is He Tian gonna pick here?
Yeah, I'm actually wondering, let's see, for He Tian over here, because He Tian actually did play the Shadow and also the Opera Singer last tournament. Like, we've seen him with these two very often in BO1 and BO2, so maybe it's still playable here. Because like sorry, I was tripping because I was trying to listen to the stream, but I think in this map we're probably expecting the Opera Singer, because the Shadow's not good at this map, especially considering the fact that she got nerfed. So we are seeing the Seer and the Cord going to be the first two survivors being banned here. And we can see that the Goatman will be removed as Team Tianba had enough of it. And I think we're probably expecting something like Puppeteer first. But we are going to be seeing the patient, or the couple, going to make a grand appearance, being the Psychologist and the Patient instead.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting. I actually like the Patient picks, right? Like, I've been very surprised because I felt like Patient has slowly dwindled in the meta, you know? Like, I wouldn't say he's bad, but I wouldn't say he's the first person I think of when someone says, what's the most meta survivor, right? Psychologist is very reasonable. I think Psychologist is a very safe pick. Patient could be something that they're a bit more comfortable with. And we did see Team IVE also picked, actually, the Patient last match. Didn't go too well, though, as we are going to see, I believe, Team IVE, aka He Tian, bans Antiquarian here, as they actually pick up the Embalmer on the side of Tianba. So, aiming to get the tie here, but actually this team composition, I'm a bit concerned.
Well, actually, we did see that yesterday Tianba actually did a very good job with this team comp. We see them play Psychologist, Embalmer, and Roller Coaster to their favor. Maybe they're trying to replicate the exact same thing. As we're going to be seeing the Mercenary as going to be the last pick, which is to nobody's surprise. But for this team comp-wise, He Tian, I'm just thinking He Tian may select a geisha on his own, and I maybe actually think the geisha might even be better than Opera here.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a weak composition against geisha, but I mean He Tian as well, like, such a strong Opera. I feel like he could really go one of the other geishas, just better pick, but I don't know, I've seen He Tian's Opera, it's like absolute madness, so he could also really just go that route, play for the meta, but really anything can go here. He could just hit them with the geisha pick here. But yeah, this team composition from Tianba, like, sure, you know, Embalmer for the tie, I just feel as if, like, they overcommitted here. I mean, Merc, Psycho, Patient, like, this is, I don't know, it's really weak against geisha. I also think that they could have gone for a lot of other different characters I think would have fit better in this team. I think maybe they should have picked Wildling earlier. Maybe Embalmer should have just been last pick. Maybe they should have been fine with just like letting that go in those later rounds. But then again, really comes down to preference here, and I guess they prefer this team comp. But let's see when actually the Hunter does pick the when the hunter actually picks what character they're
Yeah.
going to be using.
The thing is that we did see this work for Team He Tian yesterday, or sorry, bro, what am I saying? From Team Tianba yesterday, so maybe they, as I said, they want to replicate the same thing. The thing is that does He Tian have a plan? Because it wasn't at stream for everyone to see yesterday, so it's the only question is if He Tian planned up against it, because we already received the personal picks, and I reckon that He Tian can go for the geisha over the opera against this specific team comp, because opera we see that after the nerf it was significantly slower, but it's still gonna be the opera, and night owl you can begin as the moment everyone is ready. But yeah, for opera, yes, you can. Oh, sorry. For opera,
Yeah, opera.
I'll do it.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do it. For opera, the thing is that opera after the nerf she's much slower, meaning that her ability to chase roller coasters and the map is not as strong as before. So this may have a potential issue because the reason why Opera is so strong in this map is her ability to field control, and I think that is what she sort of lacks a bit, or like her ability to field control sort of dropped down a bit after that nerf though. So I see a possible of them playing this one out, especially Embalmer. But the Embalmer actually is not too good against Opera previously because she's so fast, but now that the Opera got nerfed, this might be a different story.
Yeah, though I think another way that we can think about this is like Hetchen can consider potentially running the warp actually in this team. I feel like it's completely plausible. I mean, Patient, like you can chase Patient with the warp, like because of how kind of Patient works, it's a very linear to deal with, and I feel like same thing. I don't think you need to necessarily bring the Blink. He could, but I feel like if he brings Blink here, yeah, there's potential chance where he's just kind of getting kind of distanced by the Embalmer, by the Patient, if they try to, if they use the Coffin or if they use their items here. So you could also consider running the Warp here for the side of He Tian on his Opera Singer, but really boils down to preference here. I do think that if he wants to deal with he wants to get more pressure off, maybe get more distance off, Warp could be good as he's going to be spawning right beside the Mercenary and the Bomber.
Actually, this is a bit of a deja vu because yesterday, Mother Towson actually also spawned at this spawn and was also chasing the Embalmer first, so there's a bit of a deja vu type of situation here. So He Tian is going to be like, I'm not afraid to fall into your exact plan that worked yesterday, as the Embalmer will be taking the first kite. So I reckon the Embalmer's plan is to drop the Coffin, gonna go down and make a bit of a loop before going away. But we can see the Embalmer is not gonna drop down the Coffin, or is a bit slow in dropping down the Coffin, and will be going down. So probably he's just gonna try and take one hit first. But He Tian, oh my gosh, is very fast with the Shadow Dance, despite the Opera being nerfed.
Yeah, and we are gonna see actually Hetchen does bring the warp here, I believe. So now I believe LB is gonna be using that tram and getting out of here. But oh my god, Hetchen is so fast with this. He is gonna be able to use all the way to third stop, but that doesn't mean the Mercenary Cypher will get pressured. And actually, so will the Patients here, who decided to decode on third stop. As now LB is trying to use Psychologist Whistle here. Let's see if he can get that on time. He actually does.
That was the exact thing that happened, but He Tian's other idea is gonna go after Norton, who is gonna take a hit straight away. Norton thought that he could hide away from the Embalmer or the Opera Singer, but ended up taking a hit. I don't think that was exactly what they were expecting. Let's see, Embalmer here gonna get pressure. Embalmer, because does not fly with effect, so he will be taking a hit here. And now he's gonna be confined, and he's gonna be forced to vault through, so that is very bad, because He Tian did not have Blink actually.
Yeah, and wow, I mean, Hetchen had, like, the thing with is, like, if you're running the same play, those, IVE definitely made some prep and adjustments here, and all of a sudden, even though this worked against, Talzin, this is not gonna work against Hetchen, as he's gonna get his first share here on the Embalmer. Keep in mind, he still has Warp here.
Yeah, no, there's no way they're gonna coffin this one. But the thing is that the Mercenary is such in a dangerous position that he might be forced to an early rescue, and I'm just still amazed with how fast He Tian's Opera Singer is despite the Opera nerfs. like the reaction time very fast. So yep, Mercy gonna take a hit here, pull off a rescue, probably gonna elbow pad away, does not want to double down, and Bomber is just gonna run far away, making sure that it does not go down. Patient has to be very careful as the Patient cannot give out a free hit here. Patient might be playing too daringly, but is able to use the flywheel effect here, so the Patient is able to stay alive for a bit. And let's see, hook.
Oh my goodness. Oh, this is exactly what I was talking about when it was like, the thing with Patient is like you could just interrupt him. They actually use Coffin, so yeah, he's chairing the Patient here, and he can just immediately warp right onto the Embalmer if he wishes to.
Which I don't think he's even to, because he knows the direction of, he knows the location of the Mercenary, but yeah, seems like he is going to, as he knows that the Embalmer is at the first stop, and the Embalmer can no longer kite this one out. So I think the thing with Team Tianba is that they had good plans, but the execution of them is not too good, because the Patient being too greedy of the Cypher is really coming back to haunt the entire team, I mean.
Yes, we are gonna see here, oh my god, LB just trying to bait there and unfortunately gonna be going down. And look at this. 4 Cyphers remaining, Embalmer is gone, Patient got chaired once, Psychologist is injured, and now just he didn't even use Warp the entire game. We were talking about how good this Warp could be, and Psychologist just goes down at 4 Cyphers. I mean, this is an absolute masterclass here from Hetien.
Yeah, this is actually very, very terrible for Team Tianba at this point, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, they still need 1.5 whole Cyphers, and the Psychologist already going down. I think they, like, last time they actually did, like, when healing, they learned not to decode, and Psychologist decoding is not exactly the best move over here.
He does actually go for the elbow pad there, but gets hit right in the process, and I believe he's gonna go double hit on the Merc, knowing he has no more elbow pads actually to use. Psychologist is gonna go to the 2-story, but really you're kind of just stalling time here. Does manage to push it now to 2 Cyphers, will be pushing it to 1, but Psychologist going down immediately. No time to stall here as Patient still has 1 full Cypher to complete. This is looking very dire for the survivors.
Yeah, this is looking very dire indeed, and considering the fact that they only needed a one-man escape to tie and to tie this round, but I think a one-man escape will also be very hard at this point of time, considering the fact that the Cyphers are beyond enough. Like, 1 whole Cypher, and the Patient is going to get sniffed up very soon too.
Yep, and oh my god, this is just looking absolutely terrible for the survivors. All of a sudden, not getting that 4K may have some implications here, as now Thornton will be getting another hit. Oh, it actually uses the flywheel to dodge it. Managed to mind game, but putting down the pallet basically means he's going to get hit. Does not even matter if you hook here, you're just going to take it. And now we are going to see Psychologist is now gone out of the Manor. Mercenary decides to self-heal, and I mean, full Cypher to make this is just looking really tough now. Ooh, wow, what a nice pallet stun though, to stall a bit more time here.
Yeah, considering the fact that they need like considering the fact that here like a 4-man elimination is very hard. Like, very hard for them to try and get 1-man escape at this point, because they still have 1 whole Cypher remaining, and the Patient is already gone. So I think the only chance left is for them to sort of like play for 1-man out with bleeding out and whatever as the Patient goes down. So the question is that if the Opera knows where the Mercenary went.
Yeah, and Mercenary is actually deciding to heal, manages to get a syringe at the, I believe at the chest there at OP kiting, but Hetien immediately making his way right over there, gets the tinnitus. Mercenary should probably just heal already. I mean, there's no point stalling this out here, as we are gonna see, oh, Mercenary actually, does manage to get the pallet stun. Will he finally heal? He can heal his health already. He doesn't need to stall this any longer. He should probably just go ahead and heal. I'm not sure if he primed it just yet, but we are gonna see here, I believe Norcha's just gonna take a hit, and yep, that's gonna be, oh yeah, I mean, okay, well, that is one way to heal. I didn't even realize, I didn't know it didn't reset after taking a hit.
I sort of knew this, but yeah.
I didn't. I actually am very surprised, but Mercenary does go down. He teleports to the first stop, but I mean, doesn't matter. He can just, use his Shadow Dance back. Oh, I guess he's not gonna Shadow Dance back even, and just gonna go make his way there. I mean, again, masterclass just from Headshot, and this is already looking like 4K territory.
Yeah, actually, I think today is sort of like a Hunter's domination class over here because that both games the Hunter were in very good position, and I think this is exactly telling us why this is a Hunter meta. As the moment Patient goes down here, this will be game because Patient will have to try and kite for the Mercenary to bleed out, which is very, very difficult. So Norton here just trying to kite for his life, but oh my gosh, that's very fast. I'm just saying this again.
Yeah, I feel like he's at this point
Look
just
at the
showing
shadows!
the strength of the shot right here, and oh my god, Patient officially goes down, and that is a 4K on the side of Hetchen. Deciding to try and stall here, but I mean, you can't really do anything in this scenario. And as we've said, IVE takes the second round, and that's because, you know, well, first off, they got 4K'd, which was everything they didn't need. They did not want this to happen at all. By the way, sorry, he is Cyclops 2 already? Like, hasn't it just reset like a couple of days ago? Okay, anyways, absolute masterclass here from the side of Hetien. I mean, they really did not need this 4K. Iso Kanya only getting a 3K here, and those implications are coming to fruition as, again, IVE does get that second round win, and all of a sudden, Team Chenba kind of at a tough spot.
Yeah, because they're already behind by 0-2, and that means that it'll be very hard looking for them, because if they lose one more round, then they will be completely 0-3 in finals. So for Team Tianba, they'll definitely have to step their game up, and for Team Hetian, or rather Team IVE, it's looking very good for them, considering that it's right 2-0, meaning that they can just tie 2 rounds and then they already win. So we're now going to be heading into a pause, as we're going to head into the third round with a potential, which may potentially be the final BO. So see you in a bit, everyone.
All right, we are back. We are back here, and guess what? We got the half of the meme here, with Jeff now gonna be in the caster board. Welcome back, Jeff.
Hello, thank you so much for the welcome. Welcome back, Nyashi. I have kicked out Jog. Jog has made too much fun of me, and I've had enough, so I'm taking his spot. But no, I just wanted to commentate, and honestly, this Tianba and IVE match is looking really dicey. IVE right now just needs one more round to just secure the finals, but Tianba still needs to fight, and honestly, they have been fighting really well. What do you think, Nyashi?
Yeah, I mean, it has been, 2 rounds here for the side of IVE, but 2 very close ones at that. So, gotta say, this is a very intense match here, and really anything could happen. But so far, Tianba kind of at the back pedal here. All IVE has to do is pressure them into creating bad decisions and just end the game. That's all it'll take for them. And Tianba has to make sure they play very pristine now moving forward. We have seen some amazing ideas when it comes to their picks here, or when it comes to kind of what they're running. Their strats have been kind of amazing, actually. But really, the lack of execution on their end has really costed them some crucial wins here, as we are going to get into the round 3 first half here, as Jala will be the hunter for IVE up against Tianba's survivors.
Yeah, so we are going to be seeing Jala this time around, and the map is also going to be Arms Factory. Jala, also a very well-known hunter, I believe in IMR. We've already met Jala before, me and Yashi.
Yeah.
We've tasted our pain, and right now it'll be Tianba's turn, and they have to face against Jala, who has banned the Antiquarian and the Coordinator.
Yeah, I think Jala is just expecting his Ivy to get banned. We have seen Jala's Ivy, one of the best actually, but his opera singer, no slack either. So kind of just really tough as to what Tianbo wants to ban. Will they ban Goatman and Ivy? Will they ban Goatman Opera? Will they ban Ivy Opera? I mean, up to them. But really, I think as much as possible, just ban the Ivy here, and then it's up to them whether they want to be banning the Opera or the Goatman.
Yeah, I think the best case here for Team Tianba is to ban the Goatman and the Ivy. Just bring out the Opera, because even though Hetian did manage to get a 4K with them against Opera, but it's not like they don't have more characters to remedy that. And I think Jala also is aware of that. That's why the Antiquarian and the Coordinator gets banned. But we are going to be seeing the Ivy and the Opera getting banned for the side of Tianba, so that means that Goatman is available, Nyashi.
Yep, this is going to be very interesting. Arms Factory does have a lot of palettes to play around against Goatman, so you're forcing him to use a lot more of his energy if he wants to get a hit. But the main issue here is that kind of their strat against, the Goatman was, run that Enchantress, run that Novelist, which we saw very effective on the side of Team Tianba. So the question is, what's their strat now that these characters are, not in their pool?
Yeah, well, they do still have really interesting characters, like Magician is still available, and maybe they could even pull out an Explorer if they really want to. But like, there are still picks that could potentially face against the Go-Man. They still have Puppeteer available, and you can pick Puppeteer right now. But we are going to be seeing the survivors picking First Officer and Seer, Nyashi.
Yeah, First Officer is here. Very conventional picks. First Officer, I think it's just a very safe character to really pick. While Seer, has so much advantages with just this owl kind of wasting a bit of time. But I mean, we have seen post-nerf Seer definitely a bit more difficult to use and play around. So yeah, we are going to see Acrobat Bando on the side of Jala.
Yeah, Acrobat just, to me, like, I think this is already reading Goatman. Acrobat just so much flexibility in this character. I know Nyashi loves his Acrobats. When the Goatman places a cage, you can just use... You love your Acrobats, don't you, Nyashi?
You're making so... That sounds so clippable right now. I do not want that getting clipped. But,
Alright.
yeah, Acrobat is a really strong character. As we are gonna see here, I'm not sure if they have picked any other character, but yeah, Acrobat, really strong transition here, and really works in the Arms Factory map. Like, if your palettes are just removed, I mean, you just ball to a new one, and we are gonna see they're taking a bit of time here, as we are gonna see actually the barmaid's gonna be selected for the side of Tianba.
Yeah, Barmaid just having the combo with Seer, even if you think you can't get the boost in time, the Seer can come in and save you, and then you can manage, and then that'll be like almost 3 hits guaranteed for the side of Goatman, unless Jala has a trick up their sleeve. And so right now we'll be moving into the 4th Survivor fan, but before that, I just wanted to share a little trivia on why I know she loves this Acrobat, because I am not letting you get away with this. So. Nyashi, actually, when I started out in competitive, Acrobat was one of the first characters that I was introduced to by Nyashi. He was like, "You should train Acrobat. He is so underrated," and I do agree with that.
Did I say underrated?
Yes, you said underrated.
Underrated at all, but I guess that's the truth. I'm not sure as to why I said that, but I guess there it is. But we are gonna see here. Barmaid, as I previously mentioned, was selected here, and this is kind of the main thing with like the Barmaid Seer. You see that for so long. I mean, this is such an old meta thing. Like, I think when Dream Witch was meta, people were of course running this team composition, and the very simple gist of it is that after you use Dovlin, you just use Seer Owl to stall some time. So that's probably why they picked it. But now we're seeing a female dancer bat actually from Jala and immediately Prospector on the side of Chenba.
Prospector just being the really like really in what's the word called, the imbalance. Yeah, the imbalance of this team. You have Seer and Barmaid, really safe characters, but a Prospector here able to give more opportunities for harassment against the Hunter. And if he works, he will work super well, but if he fails, I think this will be a struggle for Tianba. But they do need to take that kind of risk because right now they are trailing by 2 rounds, Nyashi.
Agreed, and I think Tianba is very confident when it comes to the Prospector. I believe this is not the first time we have seen Prospector on their side, but the question is, will Jala pick up the Goatman? Because, I mean, he could, but I also don't fully remember, actually, if Jala plays that Goatman.
Oh yeah, definitely, because I've seen that Goatman before in the prelims, and arguably, the Goatman that Jala played had a stronger impression on me than the one that Hutian played.
Ooh, that's very interesting. I'm really excited to see Jala's Goatman all of a sudden. As maybe he may pick Goatman here. I think it's highly likely, but who knows? IVE, or rather Jala may have some tricks on his sleeve with this team comp. I mean, female dancer. I mean, all I'm saying is there's one character in my mind right now, and one character that I wish to see here, but probably not gonna get. Okay, wait, they're saying Hullabaloo. Uh-oh.
I think Panda's messing around.
Yeah, Panda messing around here. Yeah, just absolutely, just trolling a bit here as we are gonna.
Oh, I know. Well, that's not other than the character.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I expect. I swear on my soul, this is unrelated. But I swear, everyone that Muyo has coached, because Muyo used to coach the team that Jala was on. Everyone I've seen Muyo coach plays Sculptor. I don't know why, but it has been a common thing, and I felt it. I saw it come here on the side of Jala, and he picks it. So I'm super excited. I love Sculptor gameplay. It's one of my favorites because when it's played so well, it's just like, it's perfect. I really say it's just perfect, and it's so nice to watch. But Tianba probably going to be taken aback by this pick, or perhaps maybe they prepped for it, as we are going to head into this third first half Arms Factory, by the way, as we are going to see Sculptor is now going to be the third round pick. No Goatman whatsoever. No, we're running the 2020 meta with this one.
Yeah, taken aback by nostalgia, we are going to be seeing a Sculptor, and I think this is just a great pick. You have Seer and Barmaid, which are presence feeders, and I think all the Sculptor has to do is just not chase the Prospector, and otherwise, like, it'll be totally fine because Prospector has rebound ability. But if you chase Seer and Barmaid, they will struggle more, and the Hunter does spawn in between both of these options, so it is looking good for Jala. And we know the power of Sculptor. Once you reach that full presence, she is an absolute menace, and you don't want to feed as much presence as you possibly can. And we will see, does Jala bring the tension? What do you think, Nyashi, on what Jala would bring?
I feel like he may run just the tension. I mean, after all, you only really need the tie. You don't need to like run some wacky 4K build like 3-9. But who knows? I feel like he can really run anything here. He actually runs 6-9, so very tie, as he is going to be heading right to the vicinity of LB here, heading into this first round. And LB needs to kite this if he wants to get a chance. And oh my god, what an early chip here from Jala.
LB just getting, that's an instant down. It's not even close. The Barmaid just trying to make their way to Shack, but just Jala making statues out of nowhere gets another chip, and that's already a down for Barmaid. This is already looking really great for the side of Tianba. Oh no, Nyashi. I guess I know why you love Sculptor this much, because what was that?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I mean, that is amazing here from the side of Jala. I swear Muyo teaches some of the best
Oh my
sculptor in the
goodness!
world. Oh my god! First officer gets hit out of his watch, uses warp. There's just no chance here. Owl just shows where the first officer is, and he's gonna get he's gonna get hit. Does manage to get the rescue on the barmaid. Look at the ciphers. It is 60%, and we might see a double down here. Max presence is already unlocked. What was the point of bringing insolence if you're gonna get like so much hits this early? As we are gonna see LB's gonna try to stall as much as possible, but he's gonna get hit through the window and double down. We just got 2 ciphers.
2 ciphers, and the first officer is already down. No one can even make this second rescue because it's so risky. Prospector seems like they are close enough in the vicinity to do it, but will they actually come for the rescue? Because they do have a flywheel to work with, they do have magnets, and it does seem like a prospector wants to rescue, and I think they have to do it, but it's just so risky. The hunter can just, oh, hunter doesn't manage to get a hit. Just 2 statues, and if you get 2 chips, it's all over. So this prospector really needs to make this count. Manages to dodge 2 statues. Prospector manages to get the rescue. Barmaid gets off the heel, and Prospector stuns, but not long enough. And Barmaid tries to go to Shack, and that's already another down on the Barmaid.
Oh my goodness. I mean, Chala, bro. Chala, this is actually like insane. Bro, we saw the opera masterclass from Etienne, and now we're seeing a sculptor masterclass here from Chala. Now, we are gonna see I believe that is barmaid out of the manor, and 3 ciphers remain as actually the prospector is injured. First officers here at mid with still 1 watch to use, but really no resources here from the side of the Tianba survivors, because you don't even have an owl either. And after the second watch here, probably from the first officer, you have no items other than prospector's magnets.
And even if you have resources, this doesn't guarantee that you won't get injured. And it seems like Sculptor does get a hit on the first officer, just baits out the watch and manages to see a Prospector and Seer healing. Can go for the Prospector. Prospector needs to kite long enough, but it already takes a chip. Is it going to drop the magnet? Drops the magnet. Hunter doesn't have Sculptures to use yet, but Prospector gets a small stun. Hunter does have a statue to work with as long as it gets the full presence ready. Prospector is going to get down, but Prospector manages to kite a bit longer. Hold on, Prospector tries to dodge Swivel, but that's going to be a hit for Sculptor, and that's going to be a down for Prospector, who doesn't have borrowed time. And we know that Sculptor is great at camping, so this is just not looking great at all for Tianba. They could not reset, Nyashi.
Yeah, we are going to see here first officer does have an elbow pad to use, but really, is that enough, especially against a character like Sculptor? Seer is going to be heading right into the rescue here. Are we seeing a first chip? No max presence actually. And we are going to see, never mind, the max presence does come into clutch there, but Jala down to his final Sculptures here, and he's actually on cooldown. He tries to go for a hit there, but Seer manages to dodge it here, and now one sculpture here for the side of Jala, and does not get the chip, but Prospector immediately goes down here as first officer cipher is 66%. And I mean, 3 full ciphers, everyone is chipped, so this is really tough for the side of survivors, and this is looking closer and closer to a 4K here.
Yeah, Seer just needs 1 chip, but manages to get on an owl, but I don't think it really matters much. Hunter still has 1 statue left. 1 more chip and 1 more hit will mean that the Seer will get down, and that's probably GG's for the side of Tianba. So it needs to make this rescue count. 1 statue coming out, and that's going to be a hit on the Seer. Can Seer manage to pull off a rescue? Yes, there is still a lifeline. This Prospector needs to kite very long, throws the magnet, gets the stun, and also gets 1 chip, but he still has to kite a bit longer, and the Hunter doesn't have any statues now. Manages to get the speed boost. First officer decoding. Prospector needs to make this flywheel count. There is still a statue remaining. Does he get the Prospector? Does not get a Prospector. Tries to get a hit. Does not get a hit. Prospector tries to get a pellet stun, but doesn't get it. Hunter using the warp, but I don't really think it works. Prospector tries to use the flywheel. Does Prospector go back? Oh, doesn't use the warp. Prospector has rebounded, but is that enough, Nyashi? The Seer is trying to decode 30%, but Prospector is down, and first officer is going to pop their cipher, but it's still not enough. They need to play for a 2-man endgame here, Nyashi.
Yeah, I mean, this is really tough on the side of the survivors here. I mean, Seer is just a chip away. First officer a chip away from getting injured, and does have an elbow pad to use here. But the problem is 2 of the ciphers that they want to decode here are right beside each other, so Sculptor can just kind of pressure them away here. I feel like they should just force potentially a reset far away, or first officer should consider pressuring the hunter to go further away, maybe the code a further cipher, because like right now these two are connected, so he can just constantly back and forth here, as we are going to see first officer now making his way and doesn't get chipped there, unfortunately. Still, Jala does not have sculptures anymore, does have one pair here, as we are going to see first officer making his way away from the ciphers. Now he may be going back, actually. I don't know, I don't really like this, like, yeah, sure, you're forcing the sculptor to kind of just stay within the first officer's range, but the problem now is like, you know, the seer here kind of also getting pressured if he tries to go close by, and seer doing a good job just hiding away and kind of dodging the sculptures.
Yeah, if I was the side of Tianba, I would really pray that the cipher progress from the middle could be transferred to the shack. But it seems like Hunter's going to go for the seer here. But as I was saying, like, if the cipher progress was at shack, it would have a much easier time for first officer to decode, because middle is just not safe. But Hunter is going to sniff out this seer. Seer does have borrow time, doesn't have it now, and that's going to be a down already on the seer. Can first officer finish this cipher? I think they have to cipher rush, but like, even so, Hunter has detention, so it's not going to be the easiest thing. Hunter just going straight for the first officer, which does not have any items. It is looking like a theoretical 4K, but do you think miracles happen, Yashi?
Hey, I mean, we have seen that Bloody Queen match from 2020 on GG's side, but so who actually knows? But first officer forced away from the cipher. Remember that Sculptor has warp, so he can just immediately go back to the seer as soon as he picks himself up if he really wants to, and he's actually going to do just that. Realizes that seer could potentially cipher rush him out, knowing that he's just going to go ahead and come back here. He doesn't need to play this risky. He knows that as long as he's guarding these two ciphers, they can't do anything. First officer has to hope to find a syringe if he even wants to try decoding, because he's just a chip away. We are going to see here seer is actually staying at the side of shack, and actually their best bet is to potentially regroup, because truthfully you don't really have much of a choice here. He's going to force you away from the ciphers, and you're going to get chipped away if you try to decode them, as now first officer is going to be trying to open a chest at mid, but he's immediately going to get caught one chip away. We are going to see, oh my god, barely misses there from the side of Jala. This is huge because he actually gets the syringe here. Seer is going to be going back to the cipher, potentially forcing a redirection from the side of Jala, but oh my god, wait, he's just gonna go ahead down the first officer. Doesn't even matter. Warp comes into play. Seer is now at a very dire position. One full cipher remaining. 20% progress here, I believe, remaining on the cipher at middle, but now seer will probably go die here, and this is going to be huge for the side of the survivors, because seer is kind of just dead. You know, no more self-heal here. First officer does have, but I mean, with this warp still active, he can just go right back. First officer does pick himself up and tries to go for the syringe, but really you have no other choice here but to kite, and I mean, this seemingly just feels impossible here. I mean, you have to kite until you know, the seer is kind of done bleeding out, and one chip now for the first officer, and I think this is gonna be game.
Yeah, the weight off the shoulders just lying on the first officer and the syringe, but it is not enough. Sculptor gets a 4K. The survivors surrender. Team IVE just needs a one escape to take down the final round of IMR 6, Nyashi. This is just incredible, just showing their expertise, and this sculptor just, it seemed completely, they couldn't even pop the last cipher. It's just completely unexpected, and Jala just showing that sculptor, yes, it might not be part of the meta, but it is still a formidable hunter, and formidable indeed it was, Nyashi.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that, you know, the survivors almost actually bringing it back down to the wire there with that last cipher. If they were able to stall a bit more time in their kites, they may have perhaps popped it, but unfortunately, I guess we'll never know, as a 4K was in session here for Jala, and we will be heading right into a break here for the second half, as now IVE only needs one more escape to secure this third round, and now Tianba needs to hope to 4K. Oh,
Alright.
oh, guys. Okay, I'm really sorry. We didn't realize we were live again. But all right. I mean, where we were just talking about how close this match was. I guess that's why we didn't realize. Just how we were already live. As we are gonna see here, IVE on match point. All they need is a single escape from their survivors, and we have seen just how good the survivors of IVE are. I mean, sure, they got a tie, sure, they got 3K'd, but I mean, in the end, still got a survivor escape, right? And that's really what all they need here, and Isokanya's mains will probably get banned as well. So, yep, IVE kind of in the front pedal here, they kind of control the game, and Chanpa needs to get this 4K, and even then, it's a big question of whether they'll come back from the 4th and 5th rounds.
Yeah, Isokanya here needs to conjure up some form of miracle. Tianba, of course, they are not out of this tournament just yet, but it is a very, very slim chance. But they will need to try their best to try to tie this round and see if they can get to BO4 or BO5. But right now, all Team IVE has to do is just get one out, and in a map like Arms Factory, it is just against a team like IVE as well, which, like Nyashi mentioned, they have managed to get a 1 escape at least for the past 2 rounds. It's not going to be the easiest thing, and Arms Factory is just a horrible map. As a Hunter player myself, I dislike Arms Factory just because of how small it is, and the Cypher Rush is too fast. But
yeah,
so,
I've grown my love for Arms Factory after seeing that sculptor. Shout out to Jala. Actually, shout out to everyone that Muyo coaches. I swear, like, also shout out to the person, to my #1 hunter in NAEU, Ko. I'm sure he's not watching this, but also someone I believe that Muyo coaches, and he mains sculptor too. I don't know, man. It's a weird pattern. Shout out to Muyo, I guess. But we are gonna see here on the side of IVE, cheerleader coordinator gets banned. Very interesting that they banned cheerleader here.
I will just say, does this read sculptor bans to you, Nyashi?
I mean, you could try blocking the gun with cord, right? If you first chase. So yeah, I guess. But like, honestly, I think there were better bans if you want to play sculptor. But cheerleader coordinator, I felt like this could easily still be Goatman. I think cheerleader at certain cases with the skill could just outrun Goatman in his own cage. And since when you're slowed down, you could still like play a lot of mind games with like the cage at play. It's not really. It could be a Goatman centric ban, as we are gonna see IVE does pick Acrobat and Prospector.
Yeah, and not only that, they also banned out the Ivy and Opera, so Isokanya's Geisha, which got a 3K last round, is still available, so we will see if Isokanya will want to stick with that, but we'll see. The next ban will be Mercenary. Mercenary just being a really solid rescuer in this map. I mean, you can tank an extra hit if it's not a chip hunter, and it seems like they're going to go with Antiquarian, even though they only need a 1 escape. They're playing with a very excitement-y kind of team combination, Yashi.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually really interesting. Again, all they need is a tie, so I'm not sure why they're playing so much harassers. I mean, they don't need to. Plus, if they actually end up losing this round, well, now they don't have an Antiquarian and a Prospector and an Acrobat, so not sure how I'm feeling about this. I feel like they're playing a bit overconfident. They think they can get an easy 1 escape from Isokanya. I mean, Geisha in this map isn't that great either. I mean, you kind of have to deal with the fact that there's so much walls. Like, they are thin and you can dash shoot them. But it's not the strongest map Geisha has. And keep in mind, Isokanya actually has the Dream Witch. And surprisingly enough, they picked Journalist as their rescuer.
Yeah, so First Officer being banned. Hello, am I back?
Yes, you are
Sorry.
banned.
Yeah, so First Officer getting banned out and just picking that Journalist. Journalist is decent. It is okay in this map because there are just so many pallets, and with the recent journalist buff, the illusion doesn't have to be at the pallet to drop it. I think there are a lot more journalist clips right now with good pallets, and I know you love your journalist too, Nyashi.
Wait, I didn't even know that. What do you mean?
Wait, really?
Like it can drop the pallet without the
so right now, if the hunter is at a pallet and you place the illusion, it doesn't have to be at the pallet yet, but if you place it to go to that pallet, if the hunter is already inside the pallet, it will be immediate pallet stun.
What?
Yeah, they buffed it. I didn't think you didn't
I need
know.
a clip of that. If anyone can send the clip of that.
Alright, let's 1v1 after this.
Dogs. No, I literally told you I can't, like, my game has been very buggy.
Well,
but
maybe we'll be able to see it later, and we will see a very 4K-ish hunter, and that will be Clark. But it's just not easy against this team comp, Nyashi.
I do not know. Actually, this is a very interesting pick for me. Like, okay, I guess you could chase the journalist. That's it. You can't really chase anyone else in this team comp because the problem with Clark, and actually, I'm sorry, this is completely opposite. Yeah, Jeff, you can begin. But, I mean, it's completely opposite to my excitement with Sculptor, because I think Sculptor is underrated. I think Clerk is mad overrated, and in this team composition, you have two harassers. Like, why would you play Clerk? I mean, this may be a comfort pick here from Isokanya, but with a 4K in session, I felt like this is not the greatest pick you could have run with. I mean, again, two harassers. Sure, you can, I guess, record journalists as Orphe's pallet drop, but really, Yang could also just use that as a way to body block if he doesn't want to give you that recording. Acrobat just makes 10 million distance against you because you're so slow. So I really dislike this pick, actually, especially since I think he could have played Sculptor. Or sorry, not Sculptor, but like he could have, but like I'm pretty sure he doesn't have Sculptor. He could have played Dream Witch. I believe he has Dream Witch. In this composition, he could have also played Geisha even. Like, I think that was a better pick, but decides to go for the Clerk, which could have massive implications here, and actually could cost him the match.
Well, we will see what this Clerk can do. I am expecting excitement, but even so, IVE is not just going to back off with just one excitement, and Clerk is going to spawn right next to the journalist. As we can see, the persona traits here, that will be flywheel on everyone except the journalist. Journalist has 6-9, Prospector doesn't have borrowed time, and so Antiquarian also doesn't have borrowed time, only Acrobat does. But even so, I think chasing the journalist is really what the Clerk really needs to rely on to try to get enough tempo for a 4K, Nyashi.
Yep, and we're heading right into this match here. Clerk up against Team IVE, as we are going to see he's going to make his way to Journalist, because I think he's really the only chase that's actually viable in this team here. As we are going to see Cypher, Prospector is blocking. He's actually going to be running towards towards a Prospector. We are going to see here, I believe he's going to get, he's going to go for Prospector. Dead.
Prospector just has a lot of rebound ability, so I think this can be chased, but it's not really someone that you can deal with after they get rescued, especially with leaving out Journalist as Tide Turner, so it's not gonna be easy. Prospector does drop down a magnet. Prospector unable to vault that window, and right now I believe that's going to be a stun first, and Hunter did bring excitement. Prospector manages to get the vault over, but like the Cypher's already at 50 for Acrobat, and I believe Antiquarian. That's just so fast, Nyashi.
Yeah, he's actually going to be able to drop this pallet because he has no more recordings. Like, what? Like, I feel like Clerk shouldn't have actually should have forced a Prospector to just vault that pallet with a recorder. I don't think he should have wasted one there. And all of a sudden, I mean, look at this. Acrobat is at 80%, Antiquarian at 70%, and Journalist, I believe, at 48%. I don't know, Jong's cursor is kind of blocking it. Very sorry, Jong. Thank you very much. As we are going to see here, two Cyphers will be popped. Did he get the recording there, actually?
Yes. Oh, but it has to wait for the pallet to drop. And the Prospector already making their way to factory. Has a flywheel, has a magnet to work with. So just plenty of resources. 3 ciphers remaining. This is just painful, agonizing even for the clerk. Uses the excitement, but you don't have the excitement for antiquarian later. It will be a down though. Prospector unable to use the flywheel, and we will see if the journalist comes for the rescue next. Acrobat gets recorded, and the Prospector will be sitting on the factory chair, Nyashi.
Yep, and this is not what you want here as clerk. I mean, you need a 4K and you've already been 3 cipher Kaiden, and this is the problem with this character here. We are gonna see, oh my god, they're even double rescuing. They're just like, I don't care if you're a clerk, I don't care if you block the cipher of this acrobat, I'm gonna pressure you until you can know you want to give up on this game, because clerk is so weak against harasses. We are gonna see journalist is gonna go for the rescue, antiquarian waiting right within the vicinity. He's ready to kind of go ahead and harass.
Look at that! Look, the illusion wasn't even close, but the antiquarian actually canceled the stun. Unfortunate. And the Prospector is able to rebound, and I think the reason why the antiquarian came is because the antiquarian using the fact that the clerk does not have excitement right now, just coming in for the support. So it makes total sense. Acrobat about to pop their cipher, and the Prospector has rebounded. Even the antiquarian is still coming over. There is still 20 seconds of excitement remaining, and they can do whatever they want to just hurt and make this clerk feel pain. Antiquarian trying to go for a body block, doesn't hit, and that will be a down on Prospect. No, that will not be a down because of the flywheel effect, and manages to vault back. Antiquarian is still protecting this Prospector. Is going to force out excitement soon, I believe.
Yeah, and actually this is how you want to play against clerk here, is like you just play this absolute aggressiveness on the side of the survivors. And I believe Acrobat's even making his, oh sorry, I thought Acrobat was like holding the bomb and maybe he was making his way, but it seems as if he's very far away, and he actually teleports here to the side of, I believe that is the journalist, and now Prospector can get healed up here. And I mean, what can you do, really? I mean, he puts up the Orphe there. As you can see, he did not pallet stun there, so Jeff, I don't know what you're talking about.
I think they placed it too late, honestly.
Oh, I see. But, okay, we're gonna see here, though, journalist is stalling a bit more time here, as now Prospector is decoding that cipher at the other side, and oh my god, is Acrobat gonna come in and help the journalist now? I mean, this is just absolute aggressiveness on the side of Team IVE here, as now does use the, I believe, third Orphe there, but unfortunately goes down. Good job there by Isokanya, but I mean, what cost cipher is now at 84% there. 2 of them are decoding. It doesn't even record any one of the decoding the cipher to at least stop the progress, and I believe that's Pride.
Yeah, remember, this hunter needs a 4K, otherwise this will be it for the side of Tianba. Team IVE just having an absolute upper hand right now. Acrobat coming in for a rescue, and is the only one with borrowed time, so if he manages to pull off this body block, that's really all they need. But there is a good thing about Clerk, is that Antiquarian and Acrobat can't really rescue the gate that early, and they're going to go for double rescue just to guarantee the journalist gets off the chair. And journalist is not going to be after Hofist, are they? They're really stalling this out. Hunter is going to hit the Acrobat, and Hunter is going to get stunned, but are they going to pop the cipher? Yes, they're going to pop the cipher. 4-man endgame when he needs a 4K. He needs to somehow get everyone out, otherwise that will be IVE taking IMR 6. Hunter goes for the Antiquarian. Antiquarian is still hiding and going to the middle, Nyashi. Uh-oh. Is he going to... Antiquarian gets the stun, drops the pallet, vaults over it. That's 4 seconds. It's not even about getting a 4 escape. Antiquarian still has sticks and might even be a 4-man. Oh, Antiquarian does not put out the flywheel in time. Hunter can teleport right now. Manages to record the Acrobat. Is going to chair the Antiquarian first. But drops the Antiquarian. Goes for the gate. Teleport is available. The gate is open, but they're not leaving just yet. They just need a 1 escape to take down Iron Plus 6, but they're going to play with the Hunter first. Acrobat has bombs remaining, so it doesn't really matter. The Hunter doesn't have blink to immediately down the Acrobat. Oh! But that would be a down for the Acrobat. It didn't use the flywheel and didn't put the ball in time. I think Nyashi is gone. I don't know where he went. Nyashi, please come back. The Hunter is getting bullied. Prospector still
I
kind
didn't
of.
know I was muted. I'm very sorry, but we are gonna see here. Prospector's gonna get another stun there, and we are gonna see 40 seconds until detention. They're like, I know we can win, but I want the 4 escape here on the side of IVE because I believe the journalist was it? It was someone else is on the other gate. So they don't even need to go ahead and immediately go for the 4 escape here, as we are gonna see here. Drops down the pallet here, but I believe will Prospector get the flywheel? Oh my god, he gets the flywheel! That's gonna be 1 escape, that's already it. Ivy has already won IMR 6, but no, they want more Disordered Fate. Will he be able to crawl away? That is another one. Oh my goodness, they're like, I want to win. I don't want to just win. I want to send a message. Look at this. 6 seconds until detention runs out. 5 seconds until detention runs out. Detention's gonna run out. They're just gonna go to the gate. They know Hunter can't do anything about it. And that's gonna be probably a 4 escape here. I believe that's gonna be 1. And that's gonna be the other. Yep, they are right there. It even drops the pin to secure it. And oh my goodness. This is an absolute masterclass from IVE. This is the reason why you don't want to play this comp against this, this is why you don't want to play this comp against this characters here, or rather, this Hunter against these characters here. Journalist is out, Antiquarian is out, L4 escape from IVE, and IVE are your IMR 6 champions.
3 round wins in a row. If that says anything, Nyashi, that shows dominance. A 10-0 round 3 win for Team IVE. Let's congratulate Team IVE for winning Armor Chapter 6. What a performance, Nyashi. What a performance.
Yeah. And it's almost like karma. We've seen Tianba get so much 4 escapes, but this time to end the tournament, they are the ones getting 4 escape this time around. So good job in IVE taking first place. Round of applause as well to Tianba. Really, those first 2 rounds, it was actually quite close, but they just couldn't capitalize on key opportunities there. And unfortunately, they put a lot of pressure in this 3rd round. That's kind of costed them a bit of crucial, they did cost them a lot of their matches today. But IVE, man, what a show.
Yeah, honestly, the first 2 rounds for Tianba, I see a lot of strategies, and I really adored the way that they conducted the game. I saw a lot of commitment, a lot of chemistry, but Team IVE, Team Hetian, Jala, even the Survivor teams, just 1 step ahead, even 2 steps ahead, even sometimes. Not trying to reference Nikocado Avocado, but just what a performance! That was just pure dominance on the side of Team IVE.
Yeah, but we are gonna be, I believe, we're gonna be interviewing the players. Or rather, Jong is gonna be interviewing. I could, but I don't understand Chinese, Jong. So,
I'll translate.
Just deal with.
I'll translate. Don't worry.
I would like to say, as a non-Chinese speaker, this is all I'm gonna say. Wu ai ni. Yes.
Yeah, I'm back. Lol. No. We'll deal with it because they also have English speakers there too. So yeah.
Hey. Shout out to IVE. Wow, that was amazing. Shout out to Jala, bro. I am the biggest. Biggest.
We have to go. They're there.
Yeah. Okay. All right, guys.
Wow, why is strawberry so酸?
Hello.
Oh my goodness, Jong! That is big! Oh my goodness, Jong! That is big!
I'm getting meme!
That's one way to start the interview.
Oh my goodness, Jong! I'm getting meme!
I swear, I'm going to so punch you for making this. Now people cannot take me seriously because of that.
I know.
Anyways, yeah. Obvious question out of the way first. So you guys just won. How does it feel? Like the champions?
Actually, nothing. Just win, I guess.
Feel nothing. Emptiness, right?
Yeah. I like that.
Oh, emptiness from winning. Well, that's something. Well, first of all, I would like to ask is the BO1 first half, which was the Goteman match where your survivors did not select a single tide turner. I was pretty dumbfounded when I saw that. So now that we're here, can I ask of the logic behind that decision there?
ask Brian, not me. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I'm
You're
asking
asking about the survivors, ah?
Yeah, survivors. I was asking about the
Yeah.
survivors.
Oh, cause we pick Knight. That's our only rescuer. So Knight don't really need Tide cause he has the skill.
Oh yeah, the skill where basically a half a tide turner, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and another thing I noted is that both in the BO1 first, this is about your survivors, is that the BO1 first half and the BO2 first half, it was like in one point the game looked dangerous, but yet you for both games you managed to like claw back into a tie and one escape. So may I ask like what was going on in your mic and how did you communicate to ensure you achieve the one man escape or the tie you needed?
You're asking for BO1 and BO2, ah?
Yeah, BO1, one by one, BO1 first.
Oh. BO1, I mean the field rescue wasn't part of our plan. But
yeah, the field rescue, right?
But since he decided to chase me and not disrupt the cipher, I think that gave a chance for us to pop the middle cipher. If he went to chase the Barmaid instead, the outcome may be different lah. Because we can't pop the middle cipher.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah. And we made a lot of mistakes in that game. Like me getting terror shock at the gate, yeah.
Well, it's okay since you managed to get the tie you needed.
Yeah. And then for BO2, it's also a lot of mistakes on our end. Yeah, like actually we predicted he might have big excitement lah, but maybe there was some communication errors. And yeah, our teamwork wasn't really good in that game, but I always had the mindset of wanting to go for one escape lah. So like we didn't give up lah, even though me and the patient didn't have the we didn't have the borrowed time.
Yep.
So I knew I couldn't pop the cipher there. Like I have to buy time for the patient to self heal.
Yeah, very good communication indeed. So this is actually a question to He Tian. Like we've seen how good your Goteman was at the first round. For the second round, you selected Opera Singer there, and like as we all know, the Opera Singer got nerfed and is much slower than before, but yet you still selected. So in your opinion, is Opera Singer still very strong in Munich despite the nerf?
I feel like Opera Singer is the strongest hunter in Munich for me.
Oh, you still think it's the strongest hunter after despite the nerf?
Yes.
Yeah, I did see it's very proficient. So is it you think that if you're proficient with it, then it's not that bad for Opera, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so all right, one thing like okay, Jala isn't here, but I saw you all communicating about this pick. It was the sculptor in the third round's first half. So what was the logic behind that sculptor pick? Because like the sculptor pick was a bit of a surprise, yet it was so terrifying in game. Like I saw you communicating about this, so I would like to ask you, like whoever can answer this. Well, seems like Jala not answering this, but well, yeah, just wanted to ask because that sculpture was very terrifying. So, yeah.
Oh, actually, I told Jala to play sculptor because I know the string of his sculptor.
Sorry?
I was the one who recommended Jala to play sculptor.
Oh, you recommended, and why was that?
Because when I want to be with him, I melt out to his sculptor, so I know his sculptor is strong.
Oh yeah, that was actually the most terrifying sculpture I've seen. That eliminated Barmaid in 30 seconds. That was so insane. Yeah. Anyways, so let's see. Jeff, do you have any questions you want to ask them?
There's something I want to ask. Oh my goodness, John! That is big! That's not what I want to ask, unfortunately. I will ask on how do you think this is more for I believe the hunters on like how do you feel about the chemistry of Tianba survivors on like or like how what's something that they could work on?
Very big.
But then he asking you
Oh,
how you feel about the Tianba survivors.
I actually have no idea because my teammate told me that my goal is only 4K. So my head is aiming for 4K. Yeah.
Only heading for 4K. Very oriented-minded. Goal-minded.
But actually, I feel that Tianpa survivors is not bad, like, because a pattern that I noticed is that sometimes they might, like, the first down will be very fast, but then they somehow can, like, fight back to maybe a 4-man endgame.
Yeah, and the Enchantress support is really
Yeah, the
annoying
support.
for me.
Yeah, we never seen her day struggle so hard.
Yeah. Still, they're definitely a formidable opponent for you. Yeah. Anyways, Jeff, anything else?
Yeah, no, I think that'll be it for me. Congratulations to Team IVE for winning the finals. That was just like I did describe in the live stream. Like it felt like pure dominance.
Yeah, it was amazing. Anyways, so yeah, I don't have any more questions here, so I'll end the stream. So congratulations to Team IVE for winning Chapter 6 and being the winners, and congratulations, amazing performance, slaying their way through the winners bracket. So to everyone in the audience, this would be the end of Chapter 6. I thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this 6 days journey. And with that, this will be the end, but this won't be the end of I Am Arbus because there will be Chapter 7 and I'm going to announce it by then. So I'll see everyone in Chapter 7. Goodbye everyone and hope you have a nice Christmas.